Children of Primus.
We made it. Hey.
Hey, Soywar.
Hey, what's going on? Soundwave be damned.
Soundwave just getting at us tonight. And Rev J's mental journey in the comments. Howdy, Children of Primus and Toy World.
Hey, Reverend J.
Hey, good for you to join us.
Yes, thank you.
Well, how is everyone this fine Sunday?
Well, we're having a good long weekend up here, up north. We're having a Labor Day weekend. I don't know about you guys down there. Do you have a long weekend?
Yep. Same thing, Labor Day.
Oh, okay. Right on. Should have known.
Well,
Hey, James.
The one thing us Canadians and Americans can agree upon.
No work. One less day of work. Yeah.
Although, I mean, you Americans calling us Canadian flappy heads.
What? Really? What's that about? Can you see it from your hoose?
You know what I'm talking about, eh?
That sounded forced.
It is forced.
Yeah, it was forced because an American bald eagle died when he said it.
Getting there, but not there yet.
Yeah.
Might
want to turn up your volume a little bit, Bill. Can't hardly hear you. I can anyway.
Hi. That was fast.
Where the hell
Hey,
is
Fear.
it? There it
Yeah,
is.
welcome.
James Coleman says, "Hey guys, I'm psyched up for Trigger Studio anime of the Transformers
Check.
40th
1, 2, check.
anniversary."
Yeah.
So there's a common misconception going there, thanks to Variety reporting it incorrectly. It is a one-off, like, music video type thing. It's not like a full, like, TV show anime.
Interesting.
They're making like a short, basically. That doesn't mean they won't make more eventually, because we all know Trigger really wants to do a Transformers thing, because Gridman was just full of Transformers references. But it's not an anime. It's like a short video.
Okay.
Still, Studio Trigger's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
did
still.
Blade Runner. Edge Runners, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, as well as Kill la Kill.
They
Awesome
did Gridman.
studio. Gridman, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, Gridman was. It was one of those things where everybody was like, is that a Transformers reference? And then it all just sort of fell together at once. Everybody's like, oh, everything in this is a reference to Transformers. Shattered Glass specifically.
Rev J says, "How are you all feeling tonight?" And also says, "Today has been filled with ups and downs. We just found out that Mrs. Rat's sister has passed away. And then I got my motorcycle running finally after 3 years, though I almost burnt it down."
Did you almost burn it down today or 3 years ago?
No, today I seen him on the Facebook. I seen him had a video that he actually got the thing started, which is really cool.
That's
Nice.
cool. But sorry to hear you. Sorry to put you off there, Rev Rats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that it's cool for us to get together every week, to have our space to just enjoy Transformers. But outside of here, there's life and reality, well, now Mr. Magnus, we can't hear you. Soundwave is getting to you. but I mean, over the last couple of weeks, it's like slowly I've been losing like friends and or like friends of friends, and then at times we're like, well, we're only in like our early 50s and stuff, so it's not someone look at us as old, though we don't look at ourselves as old, but we're not old that we should be passing away at this time frame.
There you go, Bill.
There you go. So it's always happy when all of us are still here.
Maybe it's nice that I found this weekend.
Like I said in Lethal Weapon. Like I said in Lethal Weapon, I'm not too old for this shit. I'm not too old for this shit.
Exactly.
I've been doing a lot of remodeling here, getting ready for the paint booth and moving these two cabinets in. And I ran across this set that I've never plugged in. Well, I found the dongles, what it was, when I moved the cabinet because it had fallen behind it. So I've never even got to use it. But I got like a $200 razor set here, and so maybe these are fixing to go. Or that they see the competition and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to put up a fight."
Yeah, I have a
gonna
couple
go.
of. I have a couple of different computers, and if one is giving me trouble, I start to unpack the other one to use, and then that's when the first one starts working.
And it's just weird how that happens. You know,
Yeah.
it could be a car or device or something, and it's like even when you get the hint where it's like, you know what, it's time for an upgrade or get something else, the old one either starts working better or it just gives up and it's like, I'm jealous. I'm just gonna die out on you right now, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't okay.
So a little bit of I got a little bit of Transformer news on video game front.
Ooh.
Microsoft, it's from Transformers World 2005 website. Microsoft, who now owns Activision, which are the ones who gave us Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron, is slated to release a Transformers game this year. So I would imagine, actually, they're working on two. I don't know if the second one's going to be slated for release this year, but I would imagine the first one they're going to be working on is probably going to be some type of tie-in to Transformers 1. I think I'm going to take a guess and say the second one is going to be a remaster of Fall of Cybertron, because on the Xbox store, all of a sudden, Fall of Cybertron is back up there. It's not available for purchase, but it is back up on the Xbox Live store. So I would imagine that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a remaster.
Sweet.
I mean,
Nice.
it would make tons of sense because they've been releasing all these figures tied into it. Why would they do that if they weren't bringing the game back?
I'm guessing they're probably going to be releasing it soon, you know, as either a back to school type theme or you know, just in time for the holidays.
Yeah, Labor Day. I know several teachers that are dreading the start of the school year.
Oh dear.
I wonder what the deal is. Like, how come they haven't released the game already? That seems like
Yeah, it kind of seems like a myth. I mean, I'm just taking a guess too on whether it's tied into one, but yeah, you're right. Like,
Yeah, we don't really know what they are. They're just something, and it's the most obvious thing since that's what they own.
well, yeah, War for Cybertron. Like, all they have to do is just like redo it for the next gen consoles and then put it out. But like,
Yeah.
something's keeping them back for some reason.
Depending, it might be like, depending on how much of it is like usable and how much if they have to rebuild. One of the stories when it comes to the Gamer Edition toys is that they did not actually have access to the original assets and had to rip the models themselves to make the toys. So it might be that there's some degree of like restoration needed, which would make it more than just like, you know, slapping a coat of paint on it and pushing it out there.
interesting.
Maybe
Yeah.
they've lost the source codes. Sounds
Maybe.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they have to rip the characters, then like, how come they can't
Themselves.
just get it from the source files?
Yeah, that was the rumor. Like they weren't able to directly confirm that. People, like, if they had to rip the models themselves, is the source code no longer available? Do they have to backwards engineer it or something?
There was also a rumor about Activision losing the files for the game, but that was
rumor?
Activision said something. Yeah, it was just a rumor. Activision said like, no, we didn't lose the files. But I'm wondering now. Maybe they did.
Yeah. Just anecdotally, when they did the HD version of Metroid Prime on the Switch now, like that was actually more work than one would expect because they had to basically redo every graphical asset from scratch. So that it was more than just a coat of paint. Like that was quite the effort. So even if they're just re-releasing War and Fall of Cybertron, it might be more work than you think to get them out there on
Well,
next gen
the article
consoles.
did say they're only doing 2 games, so
Yeah.
it's either going to be both of those or one of them is going to be tied into one.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a collection of the two of them, and that's counted as one project because that would make a lot of sense.
And to be cheaper.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to do much work on the game. Like even if we look at like huge games like Metal Gear Solid and their re-releases and their collection editions, like they got zero extra work done. Like so I don't see Fall of or War for Cybertron getting any kind of upgrades or up resolution. I think it's just going to be a straight port at best.
Well, I hope that happens because, like I've said a few times on the show, I played War for Cybertron a bunch of times. Never actually played Fall of Cybertron because my brother's Xbox 360 red ringed before I got the chance, and he just never got another one. And I was over in the Nintendo space, so I would welcome a port just to let me play the second game finally.
James Coleman says Bruticus was a badass in the Fall of Cybertron game.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could play as Bruticus. You could play as Grimlock. That was a lot of fun. He had like a, if I remember correctly, he had like an anger meter, and the angrier he got, the closer he got to being able to transform into Grimlock. And when he did, they gave you a bunch of Insecticon drones to just mash through. Yeah. And it's so cool too because it had like all sorts of options of what to do with them. You could, you know, like you take one and bash it into another one. You could throw it across. You could burn them with the flames. You could stomp them. You know, all sorts of nifty, you know, ways to dispatch the Insecticons. It was really cool.
And then Bruticus Transformers video game I've ever played was Devastation.
Devastation was all right. It felt really cramped compared to Fall of Cybertron.
Was that also? No, that was Platinum. Or I don't know how licenses. Was Activision also on that? Could they be bringing that over too, or is that?
Oh, hold on, I'll tell you.
Just finding your copy.
Yeah.
I know. I remember Platinum Games did that, but like I don't know. Usually a bunch of companies make this. I'm like, does that fall under the Activision umbrella too?
It is. Yeah, Activision.
Oh, okay. So that's feasible as a thing they could be porting as well.
That'd be nice. Yeah, totally.
And there's
Put your reading glasses on there, old man.
You be silenced.
Mine are downstairs.
I have to take mine off to see things up close. I'm very nearsighted, so I can see everything within 6 feet of me. It's when I get up from here and walk into the other room, I walk into walls and shit.
There's a slight worry that anytime you disappear to get something from your room, we're just going to hear a loud bang followed by "Damn it!"
No, because it comes into focus as the closer I get to it. But like just looking in there right now, that past the doorway is just a blur. But you know, I keep these close by.
James Coleman says, "Too bad you can't play the Decepticons in Devastation."
Right.
I thought that was interesting because, like, traditionally most Transformers video games try to give you a bad guy campaign in addition to a good guy one. Like that's pretty much a standard. Most of them.
That's one of the downfalls of Devastation. Don't get me wrong, I like Devastation, but the way the fanboys just kind of jumped all over that and completely forgot about the Cybertron games.
Yeah.
And then talk smack about the Cybertron games. I was like, nah. Oh, it's shaded cell animation. It's shaded cell animation. Shut up.
There is one of those really reliable rumors that there's going to be some Devastation figures in the Gamer Edition line. So, you know, that puts more credence behind it also possibly getting ported because they're going to be putting merchandise out for it. We don't know what it looks like. We just have listings. So presumably just cell-shaded repaints of some stuff because that's the
probably.
thing.
That's those are repaints.
I agree. The War for Cybertron games were really unique, and it really did something new. Like that created a whole new universe that I guess came out of like the Dreamwave comics. But like, yeah, it was definitely something different than the typical G1. The Devastation game was just like a token type of nostalgia thing.
I tell you what, I'll give it to Devastation. It was the closest we will probably get to getting the band back together.
Yeah.
Like all the original voice actors that were still around were basically in there.
Yeah. Like I haven't played it again, but I've read the plot of it, and I like how it's written as like a lost season 2.5 episode of the cartoon, basically. There's like log entries that like set up Unicron and Kranix and stuff in addition to like the main story.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, James mentioned the Bruticus level on Fall of Cybertron. That was really cool because it gave you so much stuff for Bruticus just to knock over and destroy, and you could take Vortex's helicopter like off your shoulder and just
nice.
run the blades in the thing. Oh man, it was
That's cool.
yeah.
Wonder if now that's something. What are the odds you think of Gamer Edition trying to redo the Bruticus figure? Because like the old one was okay, but it was their first attempt at doing a modern combiner, so it was a little messy. Like Onslaught was also a deluxe instead of a bigger figure, so he was kind of spindly. Like it was basically like a beta test for Combiner Wars later, so I wouldn't mind them seeing them take a new crack at it. What are we looking at there? Oh, G1 Bruticus, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing them taking another crack at it myself.
Bruticus.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you could lie to people there and say you got an early copy of Missing Link Cliff Jumper.
The heck is Missing Link Cliff Jumper?
They're gonna, that Missing Link Optimus where it's like the G1 figure, but it has all the extra joints.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're doing Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper as well. They're like showing them off. They're gonna be coming in later, so you have they're supposed to be 1/1 scale to the originals. You got the original there. Just be like, hey guys, I got an advanced copy of Missing Link. Don't ask me to pose it. I won't.
I mean, I can pose my Cliff Jumper, but it doesn't fit in the house.
And James Coleman says, I'm definitely getting the DLC for Transformers Devastation, hopefully for PS5.
Yeah.
There was DLC for it?
Well, when it comes out, I think is when he's referring to.
Yeah.
When it's downloadable.
They're still insisting. Okay, they're still insisting that Reactivate, which was that PS5 game they were talking about, is going to be a thing. Because there was another leak, I think last week, where somebody found the slides that were being shown at like a Hasbro brand event about their like future plans for the franchise. And one of the things was they insisted Reactivate was going to be out in 2025. So that also is possibly still happening.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be it's a next gen game. There's been one trailer for it. It was all cinematics with very little gameplay, and it's been a long time since we've heard everything. So everybody just sort of assumed it got sucked into AAA game development hell, like so many other things. But no, they're like, oh, it's still coming, 2025.
The video game industry isn't doing so hot right now, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, come to find out, Microsoft, one of the big, they're going around buying up all these studios so they don't have any competition, right? However, the way they run things is just atrocious. I'm big on the Forza game franchise, and Forza Motorsport. This latest Forza Motorsport is just a hot mess. And come to find out, it spent the 5 years in development that it spent. Come to find out, they were rotating people out every 18 months. Yeah. So they'd rotate new people in, and they wouldn't have any idea what the old people were doing. And then they kept plucking out employees doing a better job to put them on Halo.
Yeah, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like not to sound like I'm specifically fanboying for the one company, but like the alternative that I keep hearing to that is how over at Nintendo, they like a bunch of the people that just did the most recent Mario game were people that had worked on the original NES one back in the day because they're still at the company. Wow. So there's that level of like generational knowledge.
Yeah, I'd kill for that in the Forza franchise.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted, Deceptikitty.
Oh, okay, thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, I was just saying, in Japan, that's like their culture over there. Like, they just stick with the company, number one. And number two, like, we are losing that type of old school way of doing things, which is like how do we teach the new generation if we keep rotating the employees?
Yeah.
Rev J has a question for Toy Warp. They're saying, Toy Warp, any word on that white Beretta?
Oh, I can't honestly, I can't go over and buy the whole thing. Honestly, I just need the I need the steering column, I need the headliner. And I told the guy, I'd give him $500 for both. No word back yet. I think he just wants to sell the whole thing, but, I just can't drag another car home right now. I've already got 8. It's yeah. And five of them are Berettas.
Time for you have your own fleet of racers, basically.
The last time I checked, I own half the Berettas and half the registered Berettas in Florida.
Oh my gosh.
You need to assemble a crack team of drivers to do something. I don't know what, but here's the vehicles. I need the drivers for whatever it is I'm going to do with all my Berettas.
Well, you guys come on down. We'll make a really cool Beretta video.
Sounds like a Team Knight Rider video waiting to happen.
Knight Rider. Oh my god!
The vehicles will have Autobot symbols or Decepticon symbols on them.
Most of them already do.
Listen, I'm a very good driver. I've never had an accident in my life, but I'd still be super concerned driving a fancy car. I'd just be behind the wheel like this.
Oh god, no! It's not fancy. It's not. It's not fancy. It's an '80s shitbox, dude.
Oh, okay.
They look nice though. They look nice.
Yeah, they look nice, but it's an '80s shitbox. There's
better.
nothing fancy about it. No worries.
We'll just all come down and just change all the symbols to Decepticons, and we'll just be a whole team of Stunticons.
Yeah. Totally. Bring some Toy Hack stickers there. You need 5 for a combiner too, so we'd like a 5 combiner Beretta, 5 Beretta combiner.
Mr. Magnus could be Motor Master.
Yeah.
My white one is named Runamuck, so.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
He's not a combiner, but that's okay.
We'll just find the black one and run about.
Yeah.
My buddy Pete, my tech guy that helps me set all this stuff up, him and his wife were out camping for the weekend, and he said they followed this in. Spin, I just sent it to you. They followed this into the campground, and so he had to take a picture of it and send it to me. He said he knew that they were in the right place and they were going to have a good time.
Man, I'm afraid to see what I'm going to run into this time.
Okay, while we're looking for that, I was passing by someone with an Autobot logo on their car, and I'm in Toronto, right? So they had their window rolled down. I'm sorry, Lana's in heat. And I'm like, hey, and I'm pointing at the Autobot logo. And they looked at me really concerned and drove away really fast.
I always yell at them, Autobot sympathizer.
That's right.
They're looking at you like you gonna start something? Is that what this is about?
Yeah, exactly.
Either that or I yell peace through tyranny.
I feel like that would distress me more than just Autobot sympathizer.
I'm trying to remember what's Hail Hydra. Yeah, so just roll up beside them and just be like, Hail Decepticons.
Yeah.
Are we getting this picture up? Or?
Yeah. Trail Manor.
That's awesome.
Trail Manor. Nice.
That does sound like a Transformers name. Like
Trailbreaker, but Trail Manor.
Yeah. It'd be a good name for like a Metroplex type Titan that changes into a full campsite somehow, like a campsite for Transformers.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah, like make a campfire out of blast effects, as part of the set piece. Like a couple of tents, a couple of robotic trees, and have it all change and then its transport mode can be an RV. That's a concept.
It almost sounds like new Cybertron waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the limbs are Berettas.
Yeah. Yeah, I just watched a video about the original Metroplex figure, or rather the repaint Metro Titan, reminding us about that feature that nobody remembers, where the Scramble City limbs can go on its arms and legs. So somebody, because it was Metro Titan, showed it off with the Stunticons attached. So that's a thing. Stick a couple of Berettas on the arms of this guy.
So Art's hiding in the comments and he's throwing emojis with his mind blown, but he's sleeping, I believe.
Oh, I think he just woke up. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Naps are great. Naps
I-
are always-
I'm interpreting those emojis as when you're asleep and you suddenly wake up and you're like panicked because you don't know where you are, what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when you wake up and you think you're late for school, but it's Sunday and you're 46. Yeah.
No, I've had that, and that time of year where it's like 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. The sky kind of looks similar. So you wake up on one of them and you're freaked out. I'm like, am I late or is it evening?
Hey, Michael
Yeah.
Mercy.
Hey, Michael Mercy, and good evening, folks.
Yeah, dude.
And then Cinnabar Arts is asking for the link, so I will send it to him again.
If Settom's getting his beauty sleep, he ought to stay to sleep.
Mm.
Wait, what?
No, I sent a couple of links in private. One is a new Fans Hobby Red Saber that I think Anthony will love.
Why me specifically? I'm interested to find out.
Because of the character that it goes to. I thought it was the Master Sword for Fortress Maximus, yeah. But it's not. It's for somebody else.
Oh, I'm interested.
Let's get this on the screen.
Oh, and I like Fans Hobby generally, like
Yeah,
I
me
said.
too.
So
Yeah, me too. I love Fans Hobby.
yeah, like I'm not a it makes me want to go back and like see if there's a way for me to swing their Power Master Optimus. Oh, hey. Oh, it's the Armada guys.
Yeah.
So that's for that would work with the guy that I got there, the Clench repaint. I wonder why they made them clear red. Probably because they just want as many repaints as they can. Oh, there you go. Goes with that's the Nemesis Prime repaint of this guy.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah. Well, okay, this guy doesn't come with the pants to make the combined mode because Clench never did that. So that's what the full figure looks like when it's combined. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty much who I got here in terms of his assembly. Yeah, that would look nice with this guy. Give him the big gun in one hand and the big sword in the other hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's real nice looking. And there he is with against the normal Optimus. Yeah, that's great. See, the original Armada Nemesis Prime didn't combine or anything, so they're just making all this up for this figure just to make it look cooler. It was just the core robot.
I wonder what it would take to give Clutch the pants treatment.
You would need to add a few things because I checked inside him and I noted this during the review. He's missing the parts he needs to finish the combination because he doesn't have his big combined hands and he doesn't have the combiner mode head. So if you wanted to do the combination, outside of just needing some pants you could combine with, he would need a combiner head and some combiner hands. Yeah, which, on one hand, I said when I did my review, which you can read on Children of Primus, like, I kind of wish they'd included those so you could combine them with the pants if you had them, but I understand why they left them out, because this guy's not really supposed to combine, so they don't want to put too many, like, abandoned features into him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there's the Missing Link Cliff Jumper I was talking about. It's a 1-to-1 with the G1 toy, except it can pose and bend. And
Knees, ankles, and elbows.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the Cliff Jumper comes with his bazooka, too, just on general principle, because every Cliff Jumper needs his bazooka these days.
You mean the one he missed Megatron with?
Yeah.
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 I love that that's been in one cartoon, and every Cliff Jumper of this style comes with it now.
Yeah, just like how so many Optimuses come with an energy axe, even though we only used it in the first episode of the cartoon. It's just easy to include, and I recognize that kind of thing.
Yeah, also considering Cliff Jumper's signature weapon is the glass gas gun.
Yeah. I think he comes with a generic pistol too. Like, we've seen these guys on like display at like Japanese toy fairs and stuff with all the accessories and everything. So I think he comes with a generic gun too. So like, it can fire gas glass that way.
Hmm.
No, that next one that I put in there, Spin, is the Studio 01, like the Studio Cell Unicron, the studio cell Primus,
Yeah.
and he's a headmaster with Alpha Trion.
Yeah, I've seen.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard of this guy. I've seen some like breakdowns of him. Yeah. Considering that like the HasLab didn't turn out to be that, this guy's probably got some renewed interest behind him.
that's an interesting concept to make Alpha Trion.
Yeah.
The head. I'm surprised, they didn't include Vector Sigma in there somewhere.
They might have. There's a lot of stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like Vector Sigma's in the middle of his chest there in that photo.
It does.
Oh, that's cool. The ring on his back there.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. The stand for planet mode changes in. You can mount it up there like an angel ring, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think this is really specifically based on the illustration of Primus that appeared in the Dreamwave Ultimate Guide, which was the first thing to depict a transforming Cybertron.
This looks a lot more like Optimus Prime than like what the Marvel Comics depicted Primus as, more like a Rodimus-looking character.
Yeah, I can see the head sculpt has like some hints of that design, but they've also like between the head crest and the color scheme, it's quite different now. Yeah, and there's the Alpha Trion headmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that
Yeah.
they made a headmaster.
It looks expensive.
237 American dollars. Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, so $1,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
What, not 2,000 like CBR says it?
Around 2,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
1,000 is around 2,000.
Mhm.
Wait, scroll back up to the picture above the planet mode there.
Nice nipples. That's
Oh no,
great.
that one will do. He kind of looks like Psykill without my glasses.
He has the colors, that's for sure.
Planet Psykill.
Mm-hmm. That would be quite the twist.
Mm-hmm. And there's actually, here's another
That'd be a nice custom.
image of the saber.
The Red Star Saber, yeah. Yeah, this was a thing in the Armada toy line and cartoon, which was the three little mini-con jets could combine to form the Star Saber, the sword. And that's where the idea of it as a sword originated from. Like, so when it showed up in Transformers Prime and stuff later, they were referencing this basically.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that vaguely because I remember watching a few episodes of that with my son, and he was watching it. And because Hotshot was the one that ended up with it, right?
For a while, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, he couldn't shut up about his feelings, and that's when I introduced my kids to G1, and then after that they didn't want to watch their Transformers; they wanted to watch G1. But I was like, this is crap. You got a wire-guided missile launcher on your shoulder. Blow something up. Stop talking about your feelings.
Our Armada was not a great show. I recommend the Dreamwave comic if you want to experience a better version of that story.
That's true. Dreamwave did a comic Armada.
Yeah, it was 18 issues long. Different continuity, like
That or
like
just
how
watch
Marvel
the
was.
Japanese subtitles.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
18 issues long, different continuity, like Marvel was back in the day. Same broad strokes of the story, much more succinct and easy to get through. And Simon Furman wrote the back half of it. Chris Saracini wrote the first half. So, yeah, it's pretty. It's a little janky because all of Dreamwave was janky, but it's better than the cartoon was, in my opinion.
Not really setting the bar very high there.
Yeah. Cartoon's like a 4 out of 10. The Dreamwave comic is like a 6.5 out of 10. Oh, hey, Trapjaw.
The
And,
next one I put up there is really
Yeah,
going to
Stack.
take us back.
It was a Grayskull version of them.
So that's the illustrious Beretta.
That's not my Beretta, but it's a Beretta.
A Beretta.
Which
But I
which
don't
was
know-
named
I
first,
don't know
the
if this
car
was a
or the weapon?
Canadian thing, but
The weapon
I know
by
Toy
far.
Warp- I know Toy Warp will know this one.
Well, I know. When I bring it, I remember this when I bring it up. But just before
was
I
one
bring
of
up
my
that
favorites.
image, okay. I wonder if any third party is ever going to make a transforming version of the GoBots planet.
I don't know if there's.
Novatron?
Yeah, Gobatron.
That would be easier to do than the actual GoBots because, like, Gobatron is a cartoon concept and it's never transformed, so there's no Bandai designs to worry about, like what usually is the problem with the GoBots.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that'd be a little easier to do. Oh yeah, Biker Mice from Mars.
That's a cool cartoon.
That's a Nacelle-owned company now. The toys that made us and Brian Volk-Weiss, they own Biker Mice from Mars now, and they've brought it back.
Yeah, they're just.
Oh, nice.
I understand that they're just kind of like scooping up whatever is cheaply up for grabs and doing what they can with it. Which is fine, if nobody else is and the rights are cheap, bring it back.
That's what I tried to do with Bigfoot, yeah.
Yeah,
You see that link that I tagged you in, Toy Warp? The biggest Bigfoot's going to be here in Evansville.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I Biker Mice from Mars totally skipped over me. I was aware of it as a thing that existed, but I never really paid much attention to it. So Modo is the name of a character. You could tell me pretty much anything about this, and I'd assume it was true because I had no frame of reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I've been seeing solicits for, if not ads in comics proper, for a new comic for them.
It's a little pricey. It's 3 figures for $95. It's like, well, okay.
It's about deluxe. It's about deluxe prices.
Yeah, unless I actually did the math, because I'm bad at math, like 30 and change for a figure. Okay, that's not bad if these are like the big complicated kind, which I think they are.
Yeah, and they have like a lot of accessories and interchangeable hands with different hand gestures, maybe more than one face that you can swap out.
Yeah, I take that back. 94 for 3 of them is not a bad idea.
I was 8 years old when this show came out, so this was totally my bag.
Nice.
So you watched it then?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I remember the previews before it came on, and then every Saturday I would catch every episode. And yeah, it was so cool.
I was 18 and I watched it.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that, other than
Well,
doing
because
drugs.
I was a biker.
There you go.
Remember, this was Biker Mice from Mars was one of those cartoons that was kind of following the idea of turtles, like with 4 words in the name, and selling action figures accordingly, like the turtles did, and making all sorts of variants. And yeah, it wasn't just Biker Mice from Mars. I remember there was like a whole slew of smaller, cheaper cartoons that were basically trying to copy the
Street
turtles.
Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. Captain Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah.
What was it? Street Frog. There were Street Frogs too. They were rappers.
Never heard of that one.
There was one
Considering
about
that TMT had the Punk Frogs, that's like just left of a lawsuit.
Yeah.
there was one where it was cows and it was like Western themed.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Moo Mesa.
Yeah.
Moo Mesa.
The Nacelle company picked that up too.
Yeah, that's how I remember hearing about it for the first time. Everybody's like, "What?" People are like, "No, this exists. Look."
I felt Battletoads was another property that I tried to copy the Ninja Turtles thing.
When did, because like that was a video game first. When did that? Oh no, okay. Turtles also came out in '84. We just tend to think of it as a '90s franchise because it blew up more towards the end of the '80s. But yeah, when did Battletoads come out in relation to Ninja Turtles? I'm gonna just look that up real quick.
Would be for NES, so I would imagine.
Yeah,
Early
Rare before
90s.
before they were exclusive on Super NES for a while, and then came at Xbox. What, second party, first party, whatever.
Oh, 1991. Okay, never mind. I guess they were totally copying their style.
James Coleman says that's how much the new Biker Mice figures cost? ? I still got my Galoob figures and motorcycles.
Ah, good.
Yeah, good, because
Oh,
the more they release stuff now, the more it's going to drive the price of the old stuff up. So
That's good.
The one that I always wanted, but I don't think that I'm looking for it right now. I don't think they ever made any action figures or toys for it. Was the Mighty Orbots?
They must have made toys of that.
Yeah, I'm surprised if there isn't
Oh wait,
toys for
yep.
that.
Here's one. Here's one. Oh, it's just an action figure though. It's not something that combines. Yeah, it's them already put together.
There looks like there's one that has like Voltron looking parts, and it does combine.
Oh wait, here's one.
Chogokin, Poppy.
Oh, so Shogoken, so one of those expensive, complicated.
Ooh, they look really, really, really bad. Forward, this is it. We need to go in. Children of Primus, Mighty Orbots. Let's go.
Own them, just buy the brand up, see who has it.
Michael, I threw a picture in there too, Spin.
Let's see.
GMS Entertainment Incorporated.
I
Oh,
have to
it's an
see
MGM.
something from Orbots to remember what the heck it
MGM
is.
Entertainment.
Oh, nice.
So I never really caught Mighty Orbots when I was young. Like, when would that have come out?
Yeah, was that an 80s thing or a 90s thing? Or judging by the
Bill's gonna have
title,
to-
I'm
Bill's
assuming
gonna have to
80s.
answer that one because I don't remember it either.
That's Orbits. Hang on.
Okay, I just found it. It looks like September 1984 to December 1984.
Yeah.
So it only ran for the fall-winter season in 84.
It's a one-off thing, eh? Only the one season.
Yeah.
Was it
James.
If it's getting
so-
a Soul of Chogokin thing, I'm guessing it's an adapted Japanese franchise.
James Coleman says the Street Fogs is from the comic strip from Rankin Bass.
Oh, interesting.
Cool. Rankin Bass. Like the claymation Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph.
Yep.
Didn't Rankin Bass do? Oh, I don't know. Didn't? Am I getting these mixed up? Or were they the guys that did The Last Unicorn and The Hobbit? The animated
If
one.
there's a whip, there's a way.
Yeah, you
We
might be
don't
right.
want to go to war today.
Mighty Orbots in Japan is actually the same name, but with a Japanese pronunciation, Mighty Obatsu.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's the Beretta collection, just
Ooh.
minus the burgundy one on the left. But I've got the rest of them still.
It's very characterful. Like those could all be either bots or just like driver vehicles. You know. Yeah, Rankin Bass is the one that did The Hobbit and Last Unicorn. I know their animation style. But anyway, yeah, you got the yellow one, the blue one, the white one, the red one, the black one. That's a team. That's a full team of like 5-6 people.
Come on down.
Yeah. That's a Power Ranger team, and they did a season where it was all cars. So like, there you go.
You shut your whore mouth. Do not associate anything of mine with the goddamn Power Rangers.
To be fair, that was a very disliked season. So
I didn't even know a season of just vehicles existed. It was always like animals and everything else, but I never knew they had cars.
yeah, it was called Power Rangers Turbo, and it nearly tanked the show because a lot of people didn't like that season.
Yeah, I
I
remember.
remember that came out when I was working at the toy store. I just looked at it like, God, we've fallen so far from the 80s.
As usual, good mechs. They had like a bunch of cars that could combine into a big robot, and it was like pretty solid looking. And that's my strongest memory from that.
And James Coleman says 3-0 Robo Duo should make mighty Orbots, and his Japanese counterpart is God Mars.
Oh, interesting. Yes to what? I mean, generally, I thank you for the support, but
Let's quickly go through some news before we get to our main topic.
oh yeah, blockies, I don't know. They're going hard on all the stuff they're putting out because now they're putting out Transformers 1 kits as well, apparently.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, if they would stop making them blind packs, I'd be more into it. But that's just me. A lot of people seem to love blind packs. I don't, but but you know, like they're apparently making enough money off this to keep the gravy train going. So what do I know?
Well, you got to be responsible adults, so that's why you don't like the blind packs.
That too.
That's my theory, anyhow.
That's it. And let's see. Let's go over to this one. So, Hot Wheels Transformers Optimus Prime truck to be released in basic line in 2025.
Thought they were already out?
Let's see. Coming to us via T-Hunted on YouTube. Was provided to be reliable Hot Wheels source in the past. We can share for you images and information about the new Hot Wheels crossover with Transformers Optimus diecast, which they've already seen. A transformable one.
Oh, I see. They're going to release it without its trailer.
Okay.
So they're going to release it like in a regular car pack, like you would get Bumblebee now.
Yeah, I would go in on that just as an extra bit of merchandise. Like I thought the transforming one was cool until I saw the price tag, but I'll
Right?
yeah. But you know, if I gotta just go for a default one that doesn't transform, I'll go for it.
All right, James is answering your question, Mr. Fear and Courage. And well, what's the price tag for the Optimus?
Probably a couple dollars because regular basic Hot Wheels aren't too expensive.
Right. But for the transforming one, wasn't it like $90?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Your mind.
Very weird.
Is crazy.
You know what else was weird about it? Like, it's never been directly confirmed, but the common wisdom was like official third-party Transformers stuff, like the licensed ones, are not allowed to transform typically. Like, that's a stipulation behind it. So it's really weird that Hot Wheels was allowed to make one that transforms. Because, like, anytime another company makes Transformers stuff, and they're robots, they're, like, never allowed to transform. Presumably it's, like, a license thing, right? You know, they're like, you want the license? Only we can make the transforming ones. So them doing the Optimus like that kind of blows a hole in that, like, understood wisdom of how licensing worked. So I'm really curious about what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, considering it was both companies going in on it, yeah, I would imagine that rule would kind of go out the window pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that's why it's so expensive. They're like, all right, you want to make something that's not Hasbro Takara that transforms? You got to charge a lot of money for it.
Yeah, big license.
Yeah, and they are. That's a lot of money for Hot Wheels' chroma paint on something that transforms.
Yeah.
That would make sense. It would probably be just a larger license fee for that.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. A larger license fee, and Mattel can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I love that headline because it's exactly what I freaking thought that happened. Fans are universally disappointed in the Transformers Godzilla crossover. Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, have you seen the Digibash where they add
Yeah.
spines, both in the red and the blue? That looks so much better than that.
Yeah, so they're doing a Godzilla crossover, and it's just Grimlock there painted black with a new head, trying to pretend it's got with a new robot mode head, not a new T-Rex head, trying to pretend that it's Godzilla. Everybody's like, that's you couldn't put some spines on him at least? That would help sell it so much better.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody disliked that. Hello, Richard Reyes. What did you think of this?
Hey, Richard. Yeah,
Hey,
this
Richard.
it's supposed to be a Megatron.
Yeah.
That transforms into a Godzilla, which is like, why even do that?
Why?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't. To me, it's less important who it is. It's just like it's just a straight repaint, and they didn't add any spines or anything to make it look more like Godzilla. I mean, it's a nice set of colors on Grimlock, but it's trying to pretend it's Godzilla, but it doesn't look anything like it.
Feels
Yeah.
like an excuse to make Megatron have a Grimlock alt mode.
Yeah,
So
basically.
minimum effort.
Yeah,
With
Didn't
minimal effort.
Godzilla
Very
-1 like get an Academy Award or something
Yeah.
like that this year? So it's like, come on, you guys finally hit it quote
Got-
unquote big.
Godzilla -1 made a ridiculous amount. It was only supposed to run in North America for like 2 weeks, and they just kept it going because it was making money, and it won an Oscar. First time a Godzilla movie's ever won an Oscar.
So yeah, after Godzilla gets respect put on its name,
Yeah.
Hasbro turns around and puts diarrhea
Yeah.
on Godzilla's name. Not even a Godzilla fan. And I'm just like, really, people?
Yeah, there's a. They probably don't have a picture of it here, but there's also an Optimus coming out in this line, and it's an even weirder idea because it's an Optimus in silver.
Yes.
And everybody's like, "What are they? What's supposed to be this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's supposed to be like Mecha Godzilla colors." And everybody's like, "It's not even a dinosaur. It's just Optimus in silver."
And there's been a Transformer. What was it? An Energon? It was the Autobots' little assistant bots that mined at the Energon. There was one that was a major tank from Godzilla. So there's been a Transformer that was legitimately shaped like a Godzilla vehicle.
Yeah.
And it's like they couldn't have done that. Rather, it's like, oh, we're just gonna give you, let's see, how many redecos have we had of that Laser Optimus Prime? So the
A lot of
original Toxicron,
also,
Nemesis. I mean, Scourge. Scourge is by the Nemesis deco, and now this Godzilla in name only.
yeah. Also, Grimlock already looks like Mecha Godzilla. They could have. Why wasn't he that?
Common sense is so rare; it's a superpower, and laziness.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, yeah, and generally, like, this is all part of a big Takara thing they're calling T-Spark, where they're crossing over all their franchises, and most of these things look pretty good.
Oh.
It's just that's the strange one.
Is that
Like-
the Monster Hunter thing on screen now?
Oh, it's a Kang Toys.
Okay, that's a third-party thing. Then.
Yeah, it's a third-party thing, an unlicensed third-party thing.
I remember
Yeah, I
in
know
Ready
they
Player
showed the Zoids crossover, but they hadn't. The last I knew, they hadn't showed the Godzilla crossover.
Yeah,
I mean, not the Godzilla, the Monster Hunter got crossover.
yeah. There's
Too
supposed
many
to be
monster things.
too many monsters. I believe that's the plot of several Godzilla movies.
Gosh, I'm gonna share this in a moment. So I mean, let's go back. We already did that one. So as we're slowly getting into tonight's topic, there's also some more Transformer 1 news.
Yeah, Shockwave, Darkwing, and Arachnids voice actors confirmed. Oh, I didn't know about this because I haven't super duper been paying attention because we're at the point now where I'll just show up and watch it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh
speaking
yeah,
of
you read the novel.
Yeah, it wasn't much more than an extended trailer. Essentially, It was pretty much what we saw in the trailer, and with all of those scenes fleshed out. So there was like the Icon 5000. There was like where they see the Alpha Trion scene. That was extended, and like the scene, there was a Quintesson. I remember there was a scene with the Quintesson in the trailer, and then there was a part with Shockwave in the trailer. So I'm being careful not to spoil anything, but like the book really didn't spoil anything. It just fleshed out what was in the trailers already.
Yeah. You said it didn't have its third act, and that was interesting because I remember people said the same thing happened with the Bumblebee movie. They released a kids novelization, and it also cut off before the third act. I guess they're so paranoid about spoilers at this point that they don't let the novelizations end naturally.
I wouldn't call it a novelization rather than like something for young adolescents to read. It's like a
Well, how long is it? Is it even novella length?
No, it's 135 pages, and like the
Okay,
font,
so it is a novel.
the
Small
font
novel.
is very large. Like
Oh, okay.
like I don't
So
know.
if it was normal font size, it would be a novella rather than a novel.
Right. And there's pictures to keep them entertained, keep reading. There's pictures when you get in the middle. I'm not going to show it because it's actually a little bit spoilery.
I remember the Mortal Kombat 90s movie novel being actually fairly legit. Like, I mean, it had normal font sizes, like 200 something, like maybe as thick as my thumb. It had like a few pictures of like just black and white of like Goro and some of the characters from the movie.
I had a junior novelization of Star Trek Generations, and in hindsight, it was interesting because it had a bunch of movie photos in the middle, and some of them were from scenes that were deleted in the finished film. And then, and then the kids' novelization also had the original ending of that movie before they did the reshoots. As a kid, I didn't know about this stuff, so I was like, why are there these photos in here of stuff that wasn't in the movie? Why is the ending kind of different? And later I found out, so maybe that's also why.
I remember the novel of Star Wars Episode 1 actually being very good. It fleshed out a lot of stuff, especially with the race.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was like a park, I remember there was sand people and you would like sniper rifle. Well, they might have had that in the movie, but it was so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the book, you get all the detail about it built up.
Richard Ray's got to see it early, I guess. My non-spoiler review of TF1, best TF movie according to my mom. Can't wait to talk this movie with you guys. Yeah, I'll say this, like, I don't usually care about spoilers, but nobody's been posting them, which I do appreciate for other people. Like, a bunch of people have seen advanced screenings, and if there's been leaks or whatever from those, I haven't seen them. So I guess everybody has just collectively agreed to be cool about it.
Well, supposedly a lot of people had to sign waivers that if they got invited to they couldn't do spoiler reviews.
Yeah, I think the recent ones are like the recent ones are a free for all. Like you don't have to sign NDAs. That original London one months ago, that was the one where they were like NDAs and stuff.
So we are going to talk about our main topic, but just before we get to that, I'm going to share this link that was sent to us.
It's a little bit more than $2,000.
Yeah.
It was a shame it wasn't over 9,000, so you could say the DBZ meme. It's over 9,000! Oh shit, I said that kind of loud. I'm outside. Hopefully I didn't wake up some old person. Oh wait.
So $7,495 American. Or you can pay $312.29 for 24 months.
Jeez. Just another bill to add to your life.
But I want it.
It's factory sealed.
Yeah, it's just like that's what I have down here.
You want it so you can be like, my precious.
Yeah.
I've only got 2 of them that are sealed, yeah.
Only.
Well, yeah, I'd like to add to that number.
That's crazy that there's even another one that exists out there.
Yeah. I would be like afraid to touch it, basically.
Yeah.
That tape would probably fall apart if you touched it.
Yeah, so I'm just not gonna.
I'll probably just fall apart if you look at it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at it, yeah. Wait, what?
No photo. We can do that? Okay.
We can do that.
I don't know how to follow that up.
Hey, have you guys heard of the bump of chicken, Optimus Prime?
Yeah. So this is a tie-in with a band. Bump of Chicken is the name of a band in like Asia. I don't know which country they're from.
Probably Japan.
Yeah. They did a Bumblebee that everybody liked because it was just blue, and people were like, oh, so it's just Glyph, basically. And now they're doing an Optimus, which is crazy colored in a bunch of different, like it looks like a bootleg,
It looks like
basically.
Action Master Skyward, but Optimus Prime.
No, it looks like those Star Wars figures they've been putting out that are like quote unquote test shots where they randomize the colors on the limbs, and they're all like bright primaries.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen the picture somewhere of that Optimus that you're referencing.
So this is the base. This is the base version.
So that's the Bumblebee that everybody liked.
This is the Bumblebee, the blue one. That's really cool.
Yeah, so just a nice light sky blue Bumblebee.
With the Spike, is it? Is that Spike?
It came with somebody. It probably Spike. Well, the original Takara version did come with him, so they presumably just repainted him along with that.
Oh, Exosuit Chama. So I guess that's like one of the players in the band. Yeah, this is the band member here, must be. Yeah, so it's
nice.
It's like his figure. And like this Optimus Prime is the bassist figure. So the bassist got to choose the Optimus Prime colors.
And that's what they went with.
Yeah, that's what he. Yeah. I'm so digging that. Actually, I'm kind of like. Also, that he's a bassist.
I just remember those Linkin Park one where it was just solid gold on Soundwave. So this is by far the best band picks the colors choice possible.
More bassist trivia. Paul Eiding is a bassist.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the Optimus? Do we have a photo of that? I want everybody to see that one.
See if I can find that one.
Yeah, I saw someone like edit it so instead of saying bump of chicken, it said bump of cocaine.
Yes.
Google autofill.
Yeah, it was on one of the Facebook groups, and in the comments I said, riding that train high on riding that Astor train high on energon lace cocaine.
Is that a take on the bump of chicken?
I'm not what I was saying.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with their music, so I can't comment.
No. That's an old Grateful. No, is that I think it's an old Grateful Dead song or some other band from that era. And almost nobody knows any more than that. The original song lyric is "Riding that train high on cocaine," and no one knows the rest of the song. They just know that one line.
There we go. I mean, okay, that photo's pixelated to hell, but you get the idea. That's Earthrise Optimus.
Oh, no, let me find a better version of it.
Now that I'm looking at it again, it kind of reminds me of Energon Optimus with his vehicle drones that become his super mode limbs.
The thing that gets me about this, that's a clearer one, is they have all this color on him, but the grill on the front of the truck mode is not painted. It's just solid red. But yeah, like it reminds me of those Star Wars test shots, the way they randomize the colors on purpose.
They probably look at the sheet and like look at the cost. Okay, like orange right arm, blue left arm, all of these paint apps, and they say, okay, well, if we cross this out, we save 7 cents a figure. And probably that grill paint was probably one of those things that had to go in order to keep the cost down.
That does make sense, because I wonder how they accomplish this the way like the plastic is sprued out. So like each sprue has to be the same color, because that's how they mold it. Hello, arrogant Prime.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh yeah, Professor D's right. Bomb of Chicken has Autobot X vibes. Yeah, I can see that.
I agree with that.
You know what I do find interesting with this transformation of Optimus? It's as if when they did the original Power Master Optimus, the regular Optimus mode, where he's in reverse, it's like they've kind of stuck with that idea as opposed to like, you know, the G1 Optimus, whereas like the front of the truck is the front of Optimus, whereas like it's stuck, you know, backwards in a sense.
Yeah, you know why they do that?
Looks like
this
a
is
tester bot.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's kind of why I like it so much. It does look like one of these prototype test bots, and I've
Yeah.
always wanted one of those prototypes.
Yeah.
And
So
this is like one of those.
Yeah, so that's the Earthrise Optimus mold, and a lot of Optimuses do that thing where they switch the grill around like that because it's an easy way to make his torso look tapered instead of like a big
Yes.
square like the G1 one is, to make him look more
Yeah.
like the animation. Yeah, so like part of the transformation is you spin it around and like fold some panels away, so that's why it's like a different grill.
Right.
Here's the funny part. When I saw this for the first time, I actually thought Volkswagen was going to have a problem with this because I don't know if you guys remember, but early 2000, their Volkswagen Golf, they did like a color combination
Quinn.
like this.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Right?
called the Harley Quinn Golf. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I saw this, I was like, oh, here we go. Volkswagen's going to start knocking on Hasbro's door here.
Well, I guess going with that idea is would anyone have issues with Volkswagen, because around that time frame a lot of stuff were doing that color scheme, because you could get like computer keyboards with all of these multicolors, and then there were like couches, and it's like every different industry would have a product of like all of these multicolors. So who was kind of the main person behind like just feed that to everyone?
I don't know. I think people were just doing
Someone with
acid at
no
the
good
time.
taste.
Right.
That someone who had no good taste did acid, and then their taste got even worse.
Mhm.
Well, sure, after they ate some mushrooms, right?
But that sounds like the whole entertainment industry from the 60s,
Yeah,
70s, and 80s.
Sounds like a good Grateful Dead concert.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I will say I do like the gold and yellow head. I wish it would look nicer if more of him was that color, particularly with the like solid black band in front of the eyes. Like that's a good way to color him, I think.
Mhm.
What, all gold?
Yeah, well, like that sort of gold yellow there with the black accents.
Well, listen, you definitely have a
That'd be
gold
cool.
prime
I'd
and a gold bug tag
Mhm.
team there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The gold buddies.
And of course, that goes back to Dr. Schmoove, and then like Cup's like, why am I saying the name?
Yeah. That's when they get to introduce that character from what's his face from Austin Power.
Oh gosh.
Which character?
I think he was in part 2. I like gold, and he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
trying to
Gold
steal
member.
gold bug.
Gold member.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. And he's trying to steal gold bug and gold prime.
You know
now.
what? There was the other day where we were just naming potential collaboratives. Why don't they turn like Austin Powers' car into a transformer?
Oh, dude, that's a great one. Yeah, that's
he had enough of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dr. Schmoove recently released a new video. It's like a
Oh my
whole
God.
episode. It's a
Really?
full episode. He's been working on it for like a decade, it seems.
That's where he's been.
Yeah, seems
Nice.
like
Like new Dr. Schmoove in the year 2024.
it. Mhm. I'm gonna post it here.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I think people don't realize how far back he goes, because this was like in E-Bomb's world before like YouTube was even a thing.
Yeah.
That-
How old is like you can't even track how old Rude Awakening Optimus Prime was, because I don't think that, like you said, I don't think that even started on YouTube.
18
so-
years ago.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
Oof.
Damn.
Gosh, and there were people
I'm
who
so
can, yeah, people who are legally recognized as adults that could have been not alive when that released.
Well, those are the days when they also did the crazy versions of the G.I. Joe PSAs.
Yeah,
And-
Finster
and
Films
when I-
things.
Yep, and it's like pork chop sandwiches. And it's like
Yeah.
we're all going like that was the best one.
Yeah, those also predated YouTube.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, they were around the same time as the early Dr. Schmooves.
Yeah,
I remember watching that on MySpace.
yeah. As somebody that like doesn't know, that like I've never been super up on GI Joe. Far too much of my knowledge came from that.
Amazing.
Well, I wonder if we can ask Tom from MySpace to be a subscriber.
Yeah. I think
Why not?
believe-
He was all of our friends.
Yeah. I think the official
only
record on him
friend.
is he got his money and then pieced out, like to the wilderness or something. You know, just
Yeah,
One
him
funny-
and the guy from Friendster.
If anybody's curious about what those bump of chickens cost,
Mhm.
oh, okay.
No, that's not bad.
Is it about $2,000?
no, it's a lot more than I want to pay for one. Because this is just Bumblebee.
Yeah, it's like $109 US,
Yeah.
$110 US. Like it being a Japanese exclusive, you'd have to probably get it through a certain event or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Like it makes sense, but that's not what I would pay for that. But
I'm just not a fan of the band. If I was a fan of the band, I could, that's not unreasonable.
yeah.
It's not $2,000.
Yeah, no. I'd rather
Something-
buy the Knight Rider one.
About the other
Mhm.
Optimus
I've got it on
Prime,
pre-order.
the Matrix actually.
I'm not surprised.
You got it on pre. The Matrix actually fits in the Studio Series Bumblebee
I've missed you, Orlotti.
chest.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. So there's a gimmick. Like if you could take the Hot Rod 86 Matrix, and it fits perfectly in Bumblebee's chest. But all the other matrices also fit in his chest.
And that's Titan's Return Bumblebee, so that can't be on purpose because that tooling predated the whole existence of the Prime Wars Matrix.
Titan Returns Bumblebee? Is that Titan Returns Bumblebee? The Studio
Yeah.
Series 86 Bumblebee? Oh, get out.
No,
Wow.
that one there, that bump of chicken repaint, that's a repaint of Titan's Return
Oh,
Bumblebee.
not this one. I'm referring to the Studio Series 86
Oh, the
Bumblebee.
new one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But the Matrix Bump of Chicken Matrix Prime that would fit in this chest.
The Matrix of chicken.
The Matrix of Chicken.
If they did this in the US, I'd be pretty mad if they didn't do it with the Midnight.
I'm still thinking about Bumble Prime. That sounds like, a Prime subscription to Bumble.
There was something in
Prime
that Studio
subscription
Trigger.
to Bumble. Oh dear.
There was something in that Studio Trigger trailer that had Bumblebee with the Matrix. So I'm
Oh.
interested to see what kind of universes are going to connect there.
I recognize what that is. That's actually from Transformers Armada. That's Optimus Prime had a mini-con partner that looked like Bumblebee, but they actually named him Sparkplug instead. This being the time period where they didn't have the rights to the name Bumblebee for a while. And yeah, there is a part where he like holds up the Matrix because that's a part where Optimus, spoiler alert, was dead for a little while. He got better.
Good to know.
And I think him holding up the Matrix
Who's this guy?
like it was that boombox in that movie was
Tom.
part of his resurrection.
Mm.
Yeah, so I recognize that shot like immediately.
Yeah, totally. I was so happy to find out my first friend was Tom. I really was. I was like ecstatic. I'm like, somebody's already my friend. And I'm like, great, Tom, all right. And then later I find out he's like
He's like everybody's
yeah.
friend, yeah. God, my Transformer MySpace
Looks like a
page
pedophile,
is freaking hooked up.
One of the days when you could customize MySpace pages.
Who was Tom?
Wait, what?
Oh, Tom's the founder of MySpace, and
Yes.
Yeah.
when you got an account back in the day, his account would automatically be friends with you. I guess as like a tutorial basically for how everything worked.
Wonder if you could ever unfriend him. And then
Yes.
you can even
Yeah, you
try-
could unfriend
Yes,
him.
you can.
Oh, okay.
why would you unfriend Tom?
Yeah, like, Tom's a friend.
Because he unfriended all of us. He sold MySpace, and then it went down the tubes, and then we're stuck
Oh.
with Facebook.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
damn.
it went down drastically after
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Mm. Which, and it's funny, a few years later, they did try, I guess, it'd be like MySpace 2.0, and they really tried a resurgence and reformatted everything and actually imported some of the older profiles into the new MySpace, but like it was already a dinosaur at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember there was a push to make sure you downloaded your old page if you wanted to save it for nostalgia's sake because
I
it was
did
about
that.
to vanish. Yeah.
Yeah, like so, like because we had some like cool images from like shows and stuff back then that we had on MySpace. So I saved all of those from there before the account got deleted.
Mhm.
And Professor D says, so is Tom still 30? And how could we contact them, seeing as he hasn't logged in since 2006? I'm sure he's into Transformers. We should interview him on the show.
Good luck
Wouldn't that
reaching
be
him
awesome? Wouldn't that to just hunt this guy down, find him?
Mm-hmm.
now. I mean, I'm sure he.
All right.
Like I said, I think he just kind of took his money and just like
Yeah.
lived the rest of his life in leisure, as one would after a paycheck like that.
No, why not?
Yeah.
All right, Google, don't fail me now.
Mhm. Where is Tom?
It's probably on Unsolved Mysteries.
His name is Tom Anderson, former president of MySpace.
Ooh.
He does have an Instagram.
Like the Matrix character, Thomas Anderson.
And he has Instagram.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Oh my God. Do you think? Well,
He is
no.
53 years old. He's 2 years older than I am.
Okay.
Hey,
Tom
what's he been
Anderson is
doing
an
according to
American
his
technology
Instagram?
entrepreneur and co-founder of the social networking website MySpace, which he founded in 2003 with Chris DeWolf. He was later president of MySpace and a strategic advisor for the company. Born in San Diego, California.
Tom's entered the Matrix. He's the one.
He was the one.
He was the one.
He brought us all happiness for a short amount of time.
But isn't happiness within? Should we ever relied on Tom to bring us happiness?
Yes. Don't argue with me this.
Happiness is in the blue pill.
Quite
Well-
alligator man.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing something on the screen here that's bringing me some kind of happiness.
That's
win a
not
dinner?
That's not safe for work. Oh, that yes, dinner's great.
Don't.
Dinner's great.
Don't.
What do you mean don't? I'm looking at the screen here that says you could win a dinner and a movie with the Children of Prime crew. How do I sign up for this?
No, well, yeah, I'm just gonna leave your original comment alone. So, dinner and movie contest, which we are presenting. Now there are limitations to it, as doing online contests. We do have to have rules that are bound in terms of the location of the contest, the time frames, how to enter the contest, and so I'm going to be releasing all of that information this week. But to give a kind of a complete rundown, there is a restaurant in Yorkdale Mall, Yorkdale, which is located in Toronto, Ontario. And shout outs to JP, who is the manager of the restaurant Pickle Barrel, and his marketing person, which I will get her name in a moment while we're doing this. We spoke to them, proposed the idea to them, and they said we're on board to sponsor a dinner for two, as all of us will have our dinners before we go to see the movie. So we're going to be giving away a dinner for two to the Pickle Barrel at Yorkdale Mall. So this is open for anyone that's in Toronto within the GTA. But I mean, if you want to drive an hour or 2 hours, or even say like James Coleman drove 4 hours to come to TFCon. So anyone within that radius that wants to enter the contest and hang out with us, there's the option.
Hold on, Mike. So you're saying we're excluding Quebec?
I mean,
all of Canada excludes Quebec, but that's a different conversation.
No, I say, hold on. For our
my.
American for our American friends and viewers, anytime when you ever hear a contest in Canada, they always exclude Quebec.
yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because Quebec excludes us.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It has to
But
do
we
with
still love-
language laws, and a lot of companies would just rather not have to jump through the hoops. So Quebec is often excluded in these things.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We still love you, Quebec, but if you want to
Well,
drive,
Back to the
up to you.
contest.
Yes, but I mean, for now, as and I did, as myself and my girl, when we went there, we did tell them, we are a smaller YouTube channel. We're still building, but we've connected with many other content creators as guests and everything who have larger followings. In the long run, even though our sponsorship is local at the moment, we would like to work on, one day saying, hey, here's a free dinner, for anyone who's anywhere in Canada, anywhere in the US, those type of sponsorships. So right now it is limited within the local area, but, support our channel anyways, just because we're all cool guys and stuff. And, and then we love Transformers.
You can order online from Gotham Central Comics. They do ship Canada, US, but obviously if you're in Canada, it's probably more efficient for you to order from them.
Yep. So part of the prize pack. So it's for two. So it could be two friends. It could be a couple. Two completely individuals. Well, we'll get 2 free dinners on September. I believe that's the 21st. I keep messing up the dates.
The 21st, yes.
The 21st, yes, because the movie is
You're always
officially
messing up
out on the Friday. We're going to get together for the dinner with our 2 free winners on the Saturday, and there's also going to be 2 free movie tickets to go alongside with the dinner. And all of us will, hang out and go out with our winners, and we'll also include in the prize pack, comics or trading cards or any other items from Gotham City. Yes, Mr. Arrogant Prime.
Yes, I have to go with my name here. Is there like an age restriction? You have to be like 18 and over, or if you're like a parent, you got to come with your child. Like what's going on here? Because I just want to be sure.
I think guardian supervision would be in order, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know what? And before I answer your question, this actually branches off onto another topic. One of our cool members, named IMPACTOR Productions, who is a very young member. We did have to worry in terms of legalities of, adults and, and a minor, so to say, working together. But we did speak to his parents. So we're working on a plan, in upcoming shows to incorporate all that. So we've got those groundworks covered. But to answer your question, those 2 people could be, a parent and their son or daughter. Could be 2 adults. Could be now if it's children, then one adult would have to come with one of the child in order for that to work.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So if
want to make sure.
if a child enters the contest, a parent has to accompany that child. It'd be a question of whether the parent also wins wins the ticket, or if the parent wants to pay and the child goes in for free. So we can work that out, but it all depends on how they submit their information to win those 2 tickets. In terms of dinner, that's not really an age restriction, but kind of the same.
Well, hold on. We don't want to offer dinner to 2 kids, because then it sounds like we have candies in a white truck waiting.
That is correct.
Use your best judgment, people.
Yes,
let's go with that.
Said, kind of the same rules apply. So if if a child enters for the dinner, a parent has to accompany that child.
Oh, this portion of Children of Primus, it is adult content. So just to let you know that we are joking around, but we are also taking it serious when it comes to the contest.
It's a late show. Kids are in bed by this time normally.
No, you know what? Today is the last day, right?
For them. Right now, where I'm at.
Hey, what time?
Yeah, you got, was it Labor Day or Memorial Day tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got Labor Day.
And tomorrow's a holiday. Kids are up late.
I forgot to time something.
Well, actually, my daughter's next door doing a bonfire with my neighbors.
There you go. Not like the days of growing up and, the TV stations would be like, it's 11 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we bought 12 pounds of sausages we're cooking tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Bratwurst, smoked sausages, Italian sausages, hot dogs.
You're saying all this while I'm hungry. Thanks.
Yeah.
I know, right? As soon as he said Italian sausage, I was like, oh, paisan.
That's right. Come on.
Come on.
So we've got a local store here that makes them all their own recipe, makes them fresh there, grinds everything, puts all the spices and everything in it.
Nice.
It's good stuff. Yeah, we got them for $2.25 a pack of 5 today because it's Memorial Day or Labor Day special.
Bill, I
Yeah,
was
we have-
talking to someone the other day about you having a Transformer themed wedding. Can you refresh us on the date of that?
Why would you put me on the spot like that? Are you crazy? I want to say it's September 21st.
Use your memory banks, old man.
I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Just a big hourglass symbol goes over his window.
I don't even have, my other camera's even pointing at me right now, so I can't even switch to it.
Oh
So
dear.
it's next year then, right?
Yeah.
Yes, next year.
Okay.
Next year.
The Children of Primus does not endorse forgetting of anniversaries, birthdays, upcoming weddings.
September 20th. September 20th.
Well, it's easy to remember because that's when the movie comes out, just a year before.
Yeah.
Year later.
There you go.
Dope.
Yeah, you'll like this new setup when we get to it. Tour warp.
What new setup? What?
The new setup that I put in here. I got all my cabinets in. I've got the corner mate. I've got the cabinets in there. I've got to run power tomorrow, so that I can get my airbrush booth and everything set up.
Okay.
Can't wait to see
Yeah,
it.
I got my new glass case stuff put in.
Oh,
I'll do it. I'll do it after we do the dinner and the movie thing.
cool.
Cool. So another thing to tie in with the movie, because all of us will be going out to watch the dinner and the movie, and then on the Sunday, following right after the movie, then we're going to do our review, because at that point it will be like officially released, so we can give our views about it, whether we like it, dislike it, anything, because I know there's other people in different groups, other content creators, and at times they'll say, oh, here comes a bunch of guys, they're going to see the movie, everyone's going to say it's good just to get views, this and that, and I'm like, that's not us. If we like it, we do. If we don't, we're going to say we don't. We're saying what we like and what we don't like.
Spin.
Yeah.
You kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
American Prime.
Because I'm not just going to do it, because I'm going to end up probably doing an arrogant prejudice murder prime. So
prejudice. How did we go down
there
that
goes the
road?
monetization again.
I might, you know what? I might do a murder prime, just before we sign off, because just to give you guys a bit of a heads up, there was a comment on one of our pages that we had that someone mentioned about our murder prime segments. So I'm gonna, basically make a comment about that comment later on, just before
An
we
anti-murder prime.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like an anti-dentite, you know what I mean? So
Transvestite, what?
Anti-dentite. That's a Seinfeld joke in case for some of you younger viewers.
I am
don't
not an
understand what I just said.
anti-dentite.
Okay. But since I missed last week, obviously I was at the fan expo that was at my work.
Oh boy,
It was
that must have been
huge.
quite the thing. Yeah.
It was actually a good time. There was a lot of guests. There's a lot of stuff there. It was fantastic. I actually picked up a few comic books, so I just want to show them off a little bit. What I was able to pick up. So I got some 80s comic book here. I have this one right here.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I like this one.
That's a nice one. How much did you pay for that? What's the price tag on there?
It was $50.
$50.
$50.
Holy
Blood clot.
Let me tell you, I was just watching Proto Man last night, and he was at TFCon, and he saw like those early issue Marvel comics for $5. Somebody was selling those for $5.
Oh,
at
no
TFCon.
way.
That's what I got most of mine for recently.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
$50. That
again.
thing better be graded.
Yeah.
No,
I was
it's not
selling mine for
graded.
20. You were,
It's
you know,
not
you were
graded, but it's in mint
sitting
condition.
at my booth, and I had that comic in a box for $20.
Well, isn't it
Okay,
for the
well.
most part, most of the issues you can get for a reasonable price, and there's a few specific issues. Like the first issue, but the next time I see my local comic shop owner, that's my neighbor, I'll have to ask.
The
I
one with
remember-
Circuit Breaker, I know, is a little more expensive usually.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
got the
I
one
think
with
there was 3 of
Spider-Man.
them specifically
yeah.
that are more
Just-
expensive.
I was asking $40 for actually the Circuit Breaker one and the Spider-Man one. That's a cool.
Okay,
well,
costume.
just to let you
That
guys know.
sounds familiar.
Okay, but just let our American friends know. Remember, $20 is $2,000 for us. Okay, so all right. So I got 3 comic books. I got this one here.
Oh, you got the
Mike,
Spider-Man one,
See if I
right?
can-
Yeah, I got the Spider one here. Well,
Hey, the
I don't
issue
know.
that's-
Mike's
There you go.
spin hogging the screen there. So got
The
this
issue
one
that's
here,
so
we
hard
got
to
it.
reprint.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then last but not least, I finally was able to get it.
Ooh.
The one that I was looking
Oh,
for.
The notorious cover, the
Right.
one that's always homaged. So many homages get
I
this
love this.
wrong because they forget that there was the Transformers logo up top. So it's literally supposed to be saying the Transformers are all dead.
Mhm.
A lot of the homages to it just put "are all dead" there without the Transformers logo, making it nonsensical.
Yeah, I see that often. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because now I finally got it. So you
Yeah.
know what? Fuck it. So
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. Like, yeah, you got the good one, so that's cool.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Consider
so
what-
Fan Expo was, like I said, Fan Expo was really good. A lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of stuff. So I'm sure you go on YouTube, you can see a whole bunch of what's called videos on it, and it was good. Hopefully,
I saw a lot of
hopefully,
cool costumes. Mhm.
hopefully,
Yes.
hopefully, maybe one day we'll probably do a show there at Fan Expo.
That would be cool.
I mean, there's this other channel, Toy Vintage Reviews, and the shorts, they've got probably 24 videos from Florida's Fan Expo.
Do
Yeah,
tell,
the
do
fan-
tell.
Down
So
here
how about
is-
this? Hopefully, one day we'll do a Florida Fan Expo show.
Yeah, down here it's MegaCon, but it's all Fan Expo. It's just that's their big one, and I think for their yearly tour they start down here in Orlando.
Okay.
That would be cool. The convention tour, just like
Mhm.
circuits of conventions one summer.
No, that would be very cool.
That's an idea, eh? See, that's how you use A.
That was a perfect way to use A. Eh?
Go back to the maple
Dang
syrup
right.
mine already.
Oh, I gotta get my canned maple syrup to make me feel better about your comment there right now.
That's enough. That's enough from you, Mr. Alligator Man.
Yeah, Mr. American Jurassic Park. Yeah, I know Ohio's the Narnia of America, blah, blah, blah.
I'm embodying the stereotype. I had maple syrup this morning on my crepes, so I can't even talk.
Typical.
No, Setttom, you're wrong. Ohio is go on vacation, leave on probation.
Ouch.
Uh-oh. Did I start something?
No,
Orlando comes in, we all just
No,
start
these are-
shit talking each other's residences.
Now, Toy
Good going, Orlando.
I'm just saying, did I start something?
Good going, you jerk.
Toy Works used to live in Ohio, and I spent a lot of time in Florida as a child. So we have some intimate knowledge of both states, both of us. So it's out of good fun that we make fun of each other's states of current residence.
I see. Okay.
Just don't make fun of my Virginia. If you make fun of my Virginia, I'll hurt you. That's my birthday state and where I grew up like most of my life.
It was like a friendly comment just went left really quick.
Oh man! Right now, I'm hearing. Hold on. Right now,
99.9% of the time.
Wait. Right now, I'm hearing Tori Warp in the back of my head saying, "Don't hurt Virginia."
I'm sitting there trying to think of something for Virginia, man. I don't know.
Dude, I already did, man, and I'm not gonna say it.
I'm like,
just be happy my name's not Richard.
I'm like, I know Florida, I know California, I know like New York State. The rest of the American states, I couldn't tell you anything specific about, so I couldn't even make fun of any of them.
But it's all fun and games, because I mean, Toy Warp and I like the amount of times he always makes references. Like I say something and then he's just like, be quiet, you Canadian flappy heads from South Park. So I keep throwing in like people fighting with alligators, like it's all fun.
Just remember that Wolverine from the X-Men and Deadpool, they're both Canadian, so you can always use that as shade to throw at people.
Yeah, I know this.
And then you tell people what famous comic book characters from Florida that people actually care about.
Here's a can of pure maple syrup.
Well, yeah, you probably pulled it out of your ass.
That's some liquid gold, my friend. That's some real liquid gold.
If you feel bad, or if it's like a Sunday afternoon, just stick a spoonful of this and you'll feel much better. This stuff is actually pretty thick.
That's some real maple syrup. That looks good.
See, for us, is lick it. Suck it.
I just imagine you Canadians sitting around like they did in Super Troopers with the maple syrup things turned just upside down.
I've done that.
Just trying to get the thing out.
Remember to cup the balls.
That's how you pick up girls in Montreal. You just sit on the sidewalk. Hey, baby, you want a cold one?
I mean, with some of the women that have come out of Canada, like Hilary Farr or Shania Twain, I'm not going to argue. Yeah, you guys know how to grow the women up there.
You can.
Well, Canadians say the same thing about Americans.
My ex-wife.
Oh boy.
Oh no! It's even worse when I tell them she's a newfie.
Oh no way!
Yeah, all of most of Jess's extended family are newfies, and they're a colorful bunch. If you don't know.
Oh yes,
that's totally true. I had a customer the other day, and he was from Newfoundland, and he was a character. They're all characters.
But it's fun characters. It's real fun characters. And Richard says, "I leave for 5 minutes and I return, and everyone roasting each other."
And welcome to the Children of Primus Frenzy Freestyle Sunday.
Oh God.
Spin, I sent another picture in.
All right, let me.
Whenever I wait for a picture to load, I always hum the Wii Shop theme in my head. Or no, not that one. The I guess it's the Me Creation one. The one that goes da 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 da.
Yep.
Da 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 da.
Oh, what is going on with this image?
Make sure you vet it.
That is a Datsun type transformer defeating a cliff jumper type transformer.
This is the only picture I could find just right quick. I don't know where the rest of them are. But this, we were talking about MySpace earlier. This was my MySpace Transformers character, One Bad Decepticon.
Nice.
His name is Stalker. He was based after my 1990 Chevy Camaro. The art here is done by a gentleman named Christos. I actually made Stalker and Cliffjumper brothers, but obviously Stalker's a Decepticon. So, but yeah, that's some of the artwork I had up on that page.
Awesome. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
Like I said, he has the Datsun type transformation with the shoulder launchers and the door wings and stuff, and the Prowl type head crest. Yeah, so I immediately recognize how he works.
Nice.
Oh, I see. That's awesome.
Yeah. So you could probably make a custom out of that these days if you really wanted.
I've actually got the Mask Thunderhawk Camaro, and I've been looking at it and trying to figure out how I'm going to do it when I have time to sit down to actually make one. Unfortunately, I don't have the car anymore, but
Looks like he's got his transformation cog there.
Yeah.
yeah, the guy I had doing the art for it, man, he was just amazing.
And this is-
I don't know what to say.
this is back in the
Well, that's a
MySpace
first.
days. Yeah. Is he? Where is he now? Do we know? Is he still making cool art?
Don't know. All I know is his name was Christos. He was on my friends list on MySpace, but then everybody just vacated MySpace. I mean, the reason why it didn't work when they tried the whole 2.0 thing was because nobody was left.
Yeah, like we all left.
Shout out to Christos wherever you are in the world. We
Yes.
hope you're still making cool art, or not if you don't want to anymore. Whatever.
Yeah,
I hope he still is, because he's pretty amazing. And not only did he get the robot parts right, but everything that he did made my Camaro look awesome.
Nice. And RG Eagle says, "Hey gang, sorry late to the game this weekend. Just catching up on all the conversations. You came in just in time."
Hey, RJ.
Because it's a Camaro. A lot of the movie Bumblebee designs transform the same way as that. I wonder if you could make a custom out of that if you put like a prowl head on the design and then repainted the whole thing. Because the hood chest, the door wings.
Different generation of Camaro.
Yeah. Getting closer in the ballpark at least.
Which generation you have, Toro?
I had the third gen. I mean, I've had second, third, and fourth gens. And I've probably had 24 third gen F bodies, the Camaros and Firebirds. I probably had 24 of them over the years. That one.
What years would the third gen?
Third gen is 82 to 92.
Okay,
That's the IROC.
Yes, that's the IROC and kit with the pop up headlights.
Yep.
So as we're slowly going to be rounding up for the evening, there's about 15 minutes left, just under. I know Mr. Orlati, Mr. Arrogant Prime, said that someone somewhere within our realm of social media has made a comment about our Murder Prime moment. So
Have you read that?
I have not read it yet, but I want to hear your response.
You were a Twitter user.
Nope. It was on Facebook.
Oh yeah, well Facebook has a bunch of butthurt people too, so
All of social media. All of social media.
Remember, social media thrives on people being annoyed on it. That's how they make their money. So just think
That
about
is true.
that.
yeah, I would call Twitter one of the 9 circles of pixel hell on the internet.
Yeah, well, apparently on our Children of Primus page here, I don't even want to give this person a name because, frankly, he ain't special.
I heard his name was
Parents told
Franklin.
you that. He'd be Franklin. But
So
they
what
ain't
did
special to me.
Frankly say?
So Franklin over here.
Frankly,
Says,
Franklin.
frankly, I don't frankly care. When you have, sorry, I don't even have my glasses on, so I'm getting old, people. I'm put my glasses on,
Shifting
I
into
can
dad mode.
see that I'm. I know. There, look at that. Here we go. Fuck, I look old, man. When you have to murder Prime, check your own arrogance and prejudice. Check my own arrogance and prejudice.
Yeah, white boy.
You know these things. You know these things are toys, right? I didn't know I could be prejudiced against toys. That's like ridiculous. And arrogance. No, it's not arrogance. It's about confidence. I'm confident enough to come on
I
here
have unoffended
to talk about. hold on, to talk about what I like or what I don't like. And here's something that we learned back in the days. If you don't like something, it's very simple. Change the channel. Oh, sorry, change the stream or open up a new tab or something like that. Because
Or leave a comment.
or leave a comment, or don't even leave a comment. Go somewhere else. I don't care.
No,
Because at
no,
the end of the day, any of
just
us, hold
leave a
on, any
comment
of
and
us
subscribe.
here, or hit the notification button. But what's called? If anybody's here, this is why we're here to express. Let us know. Let you guys know that what we like or what we don't like, what we expect or what we don't expect. Like for example, I don't know, Earth Spark or Transformer One that's coming out. I may not like it or I may like it. I don't care, or I do care. It doesn't matter. It's my opinion, and if you don't like it, too bad. And I'm going to use some bad words right now. And if you don't like it, again, tough luck. Because again, you're not special enough to tell me what I like or what I don't like or what I can or cannot say. Go fuck yourself at the end of the day. So if anybody here has a different opinion, what I'm saying right now, or don't like what I'm saying right now, that's okay, because they have the right and freedom to have those opinions. Just like I have my rights and freedom to have my opinion or my own speech or what I like to say. Until we become a communist country, okay, and things are being regulated, then, and if you are a position of power to meet me, then you can say something like that to me. But otherwise, go fuck yourself. And that's going to be my arrogant, prejudice, murder prime moment. And if anybody else wants to add something, go right ahead. Otherwise, I don't know.
So you're saying
All at
you don't
once.
have a problem with plastic people?
I'll
No, I
add
don't.
this. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one.
I look at that.
Yep.
That was all the context we had. That was all he said.
That's all he said.
Yeah.
Or
Wait,
she, I don't know. I don't want to misgender anybody because
So
say
say back what Frankly said to us. I want to
What
hear
was it?
back what
frankly
he or
that I
she
don't frankly
said.
care about. Okay, here, hold on.
More maple syrup.
More maple syrup. And and I didn't even practice the speech.
This makes anybody feel
what
better.
I was about to say right now, to be honest. Oh my goodness! Like these kids today, man, they got too much time in their hands, and they feel too privileged. And they couldn't find, I don't know, they couldn't find a safe space, I guess. Oh, and by the way, I've been awake since my Public Enemy days. So before you come on here and tell me, "Oh, be woke," no, I've been awake a long time ago. When you have to murder Prime, check your own arrogance and prejudice. ...
To you specifically, or to all of us?
To all of us. I say I'm taking it more because who's the one that like, created the whole murder Prime? That's me, right? So no, not Hasbro. the right
Sunbow.
me. This guy right here.
No way.
Okay. I'm copyrighting that shit. So that was a comment to I guess to all of us, whatever,
As the kids say, it's not that serious, bro. That's like my response to that. Just
Yeah.
It's not that serious, bro.
What is it? Speak to the hand? I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember back to my Murder Prime about the cars. Yeah, I didn't want to hurt the Hot Wheels cars' feelings. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I wonder
what?
which one of
Hold
us
on,
was.
Hold on. Wait. Guys.
I definitely feel
Hold
the
on, wait.
gravitational pull.
Wait.
The gravitational
I know
pull
you
increased,
are.
So he must be depressed.
Yeah,
must be.
so hold on. You know what?
It's pulling me back.
Before we get canceled, right? Because they're gonna, somehow, I don't want to get canceled
Cancel
because I don't
culture.
want to. I don't want to like disappear from the world because someone's gonna hit the off button on us here. So let me turn around and let me give a sincere apology to our plastic,
James
toys, figures, collectibles, whatever you want to call it, right? Because they got
So it's a
feelings too.
magnanimous. It's a magnanimous
Right.
madness moment
Okay,
now.
so
Yes.
Optimus Prime, Rodimus, the Fallen, even though you're a bad guy. Shockwave, the fake Shockwave over here, Voltron behind Blaster, Jetfire, U2 Blitzwing. I'm sorry, guys and girls. I know I have a female in here somewhere, but you know, I'm really sorry to all of you, especially you, the guy with the many faces here. What's
What do
his
you mean you
name?
don't have a female transformer? That's
Well,
prejudice.
it's somewhere around here, you know.
No, it's sexist. Get it right.
Oh,
Oh,
I know, eh?
So I
I'm
think
sorry to listen. I'm really sorry to this guy here. Okay,
the quintesson.
I'm really
The
yes, the
quintesson.
quintesson. Yes, I'm really sorry for the quintesson because you know the many faces that he has, right? Because it's very multicultural, right?
There are 5 phases of darkness. It's 5
Yeah,
episodes.
exactly. You know, Galvatron, even though you're a little insane at times, and you got a split personality between you and Megatron, you know, but most of all, I'm really sorry for this guy right here. You know, he's been taking a lot of slack for it since because of Michael Bay. Right? I'm sorry, Bumblebee. I really am sorry. You know, I love you. And one day you're gonna get the Matrix, and
That's
you're
right,
gonna be the leader that everybody wants you to be, because you could be all the B you could want be.
I guess this whole rant is just Orlati checking his privilege.
I
No, but
appreciated the
but I'm so
apology to
sorry.
Rodimus, honestly.
But I'm so sorry. I'm saying sorry. Hold on, wait a minute to Rodimus here because sorry, Bronze, you fell. Rodimus, I'm gonna say sorry to
fell again?
Rodimus. No, I'm gonna say sorry to Rodimus, but not just only that, because he's probably binary here was 2 because like he's a headmaster. So I gotta say sorry to his little guy. I'm sorry, little guy. All right. Anyway, that was my Murder Prime moment. So if anybody wants to leave the like dumb comments like that, go ahead. We're not gonna delete you, but at the end of the day, we're just gonna make fun of you.
Say we are gonna make fun of you.
but I mean, like, Murder Prime.
James-
It's a
James
good
Coleman
opportunity
says-
to
I truly agree with what you said, Arrogant Prime. Professor D says magnanimous Magnus moment. I'm not able to say this word. Spin, we need a graphic for next week. And Richard says, arise, Bumblebiss Prime.
Bumble.
Can be all you can be.
No, you know, when you and I have our
know.
debates, you know, I'm going to throw the whole other side of it is like, you know, maybe whoever this Frankly person is, maybe they work for CBR and they've just been frustrated with the amount of times we've made fun of them. So they're coming back at us.
Oh my God!
Bring it on, CBR.
Bring it on.
Book reviews that almost never do comic book reviews.
I you know
Are
what
you
that
telling me-
brings to mind? That brings to mind like a lot of these marketing campaigns where it like make it seem like there's some type of controversy involved. For example, in a movie, I can't think of an exact example, but for example, I'm going to come up with one off the top of my head with the Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, but what was that female Spider-Man movie that Sony did? In
Oh,
any case,
Madam
there
Web?
was- Yeah,
Oh my
Madam
God.
Web. So because, you know, the ratings were low, so they created stir in like the social media networks as if it like, oh, this and this is something is not right. You should read about this article about the movie. Whereas like it's the studio putting out these like negative, right? Just to create more interest and like awareness of the movie, at least at the very
That
least.
was a very bad
So are
film on
you
its own.
saying
I think Arrogant Prime made that comment just so he can have his little moment here.
I was just gonna
That's
say,
true.
are you saying that one of us created this Frankly account to attack us to create this whole Murder Prime moment?
The
that
call was
doesn't
coming
exist?
from inside the house.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, you know who did that? You know who did the worst
There's a
of all
mole in
of
the
what
organization.
Nico was just saying? The acolytes. Did you hear about the reviews about that?
Mhm.
No, what about that?
You got, no, they were saying because a lot of people didn't like the acolytes. The writers, the producer, even the star of the show, they came out and they started saying it's our fault that the movie sucked, right? And so people had like people. I'm not trying to change the subject here or anything like that, but the whole point is this, okay? You know, we have opinions and we're allowed to have them. And that's it. And if you don't like it, too bad. You know, be like me.
All right.
I'm deaf for 1 year. Just give the deaf ear, and that's it. I don't have to hear it.
There we
I
go.
want to see this case that Magnus is talking about.
Yeah, so I want to see it too. Let's go, Magnus.
Oh,
Mhm.
Iacon is a multicultural mess.
Yeah, as Magnus is getting to the case.
There we go.
RJ Ego asked who is Frankly, and Frankly is just an angry person that wanted to send us his opinions. So we just gave him our opinions.
Ooh, I like all those boxes.
Oh
Yes.
shoot! Is that the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
That is a beautiful
that's the FSC Millennium Falcon to the left. That's the 8,000 or 8,500 piece Millennium Falcon. It's 2 scale of the Lego Man, and then this one right in front of it is the one that you can just buy at Walmart. And then that's the 1701 Enterprise sitting beside it, and then Poe Dameron's Black X-Wing fighter is sitting underneath that ring light right there. But everything in that case is sealed except for the 2 that I have autographed there from my childhood. That's my G1 Optimus Prime autograph, Peter Cullen, and my G1 pre-rub Megatron autograph by Frank Welker. And then a Decepticon belt and a Autobot belt that I found at a trade show. And then that's my sealed Jetfire in the plastic still. On the right, and then the one on the far left, that's just the old Transformers case, the like briefcase.
Collector case, yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm in awe
the
right
second
now.
The second shelf is on the far left. You can't really see them because they're laying down, but that's the cassettes. The one on the far left is Rumble. It's
Oh, butt shot.
yeah, Rumble and Ravage, and then Frenzy and Laserbeak, and then the reissue of Soundwave, reissue Blaster, the reissue Skywarp, and then up here at the top, let me get out of the way, is the Generation Selects Reflector, and then reissue Smokescreen, the Transmetal Smokescreen, or not Transmetal, what is that called?
Vinyl tech?
Alternators.
Yeah.
Alternators, Smokescreen, and then the Temu Optimus Prime in the box.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay,
then
can I
the,
stop you there for a
reissue-
second?
Just
The
one more. He has
Temu.
one more.
Oh yeah, there's one more. Sorry. Go ahead.
The last one on the end is the reissue Hot Rod.
All right.
Sweet.
Cool.
Sweet.
Okay, the Temu the Temu Optimus Prime that you order, is it worth it?
Yeah. If you don't own one, yeah. We did a review on here. It's not sealed. I opened it and we did a side by side of my G1 down there in the bottom, and showed all the differences between them.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I
you-
mean it's a good solid figure. It doesn't feel cheap.
See, that's what I'm afraid of, because I see some stuff on AliExpress, and I saw some stuff on Temu, and I was like, $36, like $40, $50, whatever cases. I saw this on AliExpress. I saw a collection of all the Dinobots, G1 Dinobots, and G1 Insecticons for like $40. And I'm so tempted to order it, but I'm like, something's stopping me because I'm afraid that it's going to be like, as soon as it gets to my house, it's going to like disintegrate.
Not
No,
apparently
they
based on
they
the
weren't
Optimus.
bad pieces. They are not, like I said, they are not 100%.
Yeah.
There's little differences. Like I think one of the things that we found was the grill was different on this Optimus Prime. Roller seats are different. There's extra lines on the guns, stuff like that. He doesn't come with the proper stickers already on him. You have to apply them.
That feels like fair play. So you're not going to mix it up with a vintage sample,
Right.
Yeah.
Or at least, if you see somebody trying to pass off an old one, you've got signs that it's, you know, that
You
it's
can clearly
No,
tell. Yeah.
And
listen,
Span,
I
I
get
sent
it.
you a picture of the airbrush area.
Okay. No, listen. I get it that there's gonna be like slight differences, right? Like maybe the size or a gun or whatever case is, right? But I'm just so afraid of ordering it, and when it shows up, it just brittles and breaks, and I'm like,
Oh, hang on
damn.
a second. Later, Pete. Thanks for
See you,
tuning in.
Pete.
Yeah, Pete's out.
Yeah.
That's my tech guy.
Oh, right on. Thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
Peter. Yeah.
Thank you
cool
for
dude.
joining us, Peter.
Yeah, so like I was saying, that's the only thing that's kind of stopping me, because I've seen some really cool figures, especially on AliExpress, right, that I really want to order because the prices are incredible, right? And it's like I'm afraid to hit that that enter button, that checkout button, whatever you want to call it, right, and get that thing mailed to me.
Give it a shot. It's only 51 Canadian pesos.
Only.
Canadian pesos.
Well, I thought it was going to be like at least $80 for the Optimus Prime one, but $60 to be quite honest. $60.
Well, if
free shipping.
you're on Temu, Temu will be the best friend. It's just like Tom. If you're on Temu, Temu's going to text you twice a day. Just check it out. Every time, check it out. What are the deals that they're giving? I gave $14 American shipped for that Optimus Prime.
I have to put out the caveat that Temu is definitely Chinese spyware, and they are holding your information with, whatever their interests are. AliExpress is probably no different, but Temu has like these apps that ask for all your contact information, and that's a requirement about Temu, which put me off from ever using them.
Well, you know what? I would say, branching off on that, if you're ever doing any online purchases, and people like the financial quote unquote gurus will give certain advice. And I mean, I've seen it in the Facebook groups where, like people are, buying, selling, trading Transformers, but then they'll sell to someone under friends and family under PayPal, and then they never get the item and stuff. And I'm like, well, they're neither your friend nor your family, so
That's right.
do it as goods as service. Why did you do it as the FF? But in terms of like making purchases and stuff, if you're either doing it through PayPal, which the odd time they're a bit sketchy, but use your credit card. Never use your banking information, because if it ever falls apart, the credit card company will guarantee it. Whereas like if you use your banking information, then you got to deal with the bank, this and that, and investigations and weeks, where the credit cards are just like, okay, here's your issue. We'll quit, we'll just resolve it, and that's it. But
you know what, that's one thing, like the individuals, banking, okay, they lose the money in their account, whatever. But what's really more valuable is people's buying habits. So if, for example, China had the information of all the Americans' spending habits, right? For example, like there's a lot of people buying off of Temu right now. And if this one company is aware of all of the Americans' interests, if they can predict what the Americans are going to buy, then they know what to start selling them, right? So that's the play. That's essentially the big play.
Which is true.
I'll buy anything that I can't use PayPal on. If I go all the way through and it asks for a credit card number and I can't scroll down and it says pay with PayPal here, I end the transaction.
As a Canadian, we don't have such rights for PayPal. We don't have a PayPal office in Canada, unfortunately. But PayPal is probably the most secure way to buy online for us too.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure that pisses a lot of things off whenever they're like, "Oh, look, he's ordering $10,000 worth of shit." Oh wait, there's not a. My dad just hit me. I'm sorry, it is similar, but my dad just hit me up with a thing the other day. Milwaukee, which all of my tools are Milwaukee M18, and my dad sends me a picture of the Milwaukee M18 table saw. It runs on 2 batteries. It's only an 8-inch blade, but for just going out and doing one little trim job, be fantastic. It was $98. This is a $500 saw. like that. And he was like, they're on sale this weekend. And I was like, Dad, no. When did you get that? Well, I saw it on Facebook. Absolutely not.
Yeah, just avoid it. Just avoid it. It's a scam waiting to happen.
Right. I said, you want to risk your credit card? You go right ahead. He said, oh, well, I was just going to, front you the money and let you do it since you know how to do all that stuff safely. I'm like, no, I'm telling you right now, that ain't even getting loaded on my computer.
Yeah, keep away from that.
Well, did you get the that picture? The one I sent you in Messenger? Should be 2 desks.
About buying knockoffs for I feel like if you're just trying to revisit your nostalgia, like if you haven't had these toys in 30 years, 40 years, whatever, going out and buying one, you would not know the difference if you haven't played with one in that long, right? So in that sense, being the availability of the actual Optimus Prime outside of the Walmart's exclusive or the Missing Link one, availability is pretty low and really expensive. I don't see anything wrong with going out there and getting the KO, because that's as good as probably your brain remembers it anyways.
No, I totally agree with Mika, and that's the reason why I was looking at those knockoffs, right? Because when I was moving, right, I lost a box, right, with some Transformers, and some of my Dinobots were in there, right? So I'm missing the rest of my, because I only got 2 here, right? I don't know if you guys can see it, but they're right over here somewhere. Anyways,
yeah.
And so it's like, that's why I want to get those knockoffs, just to put them back into place and say, hey, look at my collection of Dinobots, right?
The Dinobots and Mirage, for example, are figures that have never been reissued before, so the KOs are in fact the only way to get fresh ones.
Exactly. Yeah, my swoop could look like it could use some refreshed plastics there. So yeah, I was considering buying the KO swoop. It's expensive to get the original ones, and good luck if you get them in good condition.
RG Eagle says, definitely don't trust Temu, but I'm okay with AliExpress. Ordered Thomas RP 44 KO and Transform Element T Eagle 1 Optimus Prime recently on their back to school sale. Loved them.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
You convinced me, RJ. I'm going to try it.
We're going to agree to disagree on that one.
Uh-oh.
This is the corner that's going to become the airbrush booth.
Oh, nice.
The blue wall right there it goes into the lean-to edge of my house, and so that will be where everything is vented out through. This will have all the storage, but this little corner where that vacuum is sitting is where my air compressor and everything for my airbrush is going to go. And then there's going to be a workstation here. This light is going to get taken off of this stand and mounted up here to where I can put those 3 pointing in whichever direction I want.
Ooh, nice.
Cool.
Good stuff. Good work area, dude. Yeah, nice. I like that you have a shelf on top of your area. Cool. Nice swords too. Geez, you need that while you're airbrushing?
Oh, that's where they used to be.
Okay.
So they're going to get relocated. Yeah, that was the sword wall.
Good.
The 2 that are hanging kind of at an angle, those actually came from Iraq.
Oh yeah.
A buddy of mine got them for me while he was over in Baghdad.
Oh wow.
So there's a little bit of history and story to those. The big one that's going all the way down to the floor here with the red handle, that's a Masonic sword that another friend of mine found.
Oh, crazy.
The little one up here at the top is called a Tyler sword. It's also a Masonic sword that another friend of mine found and sent it to me. And then I used to have Optimus's sword hanging right above where the desk is. So I've got to relocate all those blades.
Cool. Do you know what's the name of the swords from Iraq?
The little one there is a scimitar, and I can't remember what he called that great big wide one.
There is some kind of sword that's curved like that. It's called
who's
kokiri.
I saw that she's short. Sorry, DK.
No, it's okay. I was finished. It's a Kokiri sword. It was the reference from Zelda. Go ahead.
But yeah, I was gonna say I have a friend who's Iraqi. That she's that British Muslim girl that did did the Captain America gender swap and the Lady Loki cosplays. I think I shared before. But she makes a bunch of like prop weapons and stuff. I mean, her main job is a pharmacist, but I mean she might know what that sword is. That one Iraqi sword you don't know what it is.
Cool.
That's cool. She's a pharmacist, but she's a cosplayer in her spare time. That's cool.
And then gaming streamer too.
Well, she's like
busy
us,
existence.
collectors in disguise.
Oh, cool.
This is that one.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh,
Look at that.
nice.
Nice brass work there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that it's got like a guard to put your fingers in place.
That's
That's to
very
get
cool.
punched in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these are edged.
Ooh. Crazy.
And then this is that big one.
Whoa. Yeah, that's sort of like fucking Arabian Nights kind of sword, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I need that to cut my prosciutto.
Oh my god, the Italian. The only thing can think of is cutting his. I'm not gonna cut my salami with that thing.
Yeah,
But will it cut my salami?
Hey
this
man,
case is
we're
leather
it's
with brass.
it's the month to do the tomato sauce right now,
Mm-hmm.
What's this? Is that
right, Anthony?
Yeah.
And
I mean, you've seen
This one
you've
is
seen the
wood
witch's
and
cauldrons.
brass. And it's got the belt chain
That's cool. That's very cool.
and a little tassel.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Dania, she would geek out over those swords.
I like that they're
She's
just
like
like
into-
regular swords, and they're not like tied into anything. They're not from anything. They're just
Mhm.
actual functional ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I know. I think it's since tomorrow is the holiday, where we do have a few extra minutes this evening to tie back into the KO conversation. I know Toyworth was nodding his head because I know you deal with the originals, not the KOs. But I think as other people as well. It's like if there's KOs, if there's certain characters you lost or just couldn't get as children, and you get them and put them on your shelf, and they look pretty much identical to what it looked like, as long as that person's happy about it, that's kind of the main purpose. And it's funny because it ties into an image I saw in one of the Facebook groups, I think 2 weeks ago, and when Rashad was on here last week, we kind of touched on a topic, but someone showed a picture of their collection from, I think, like 86, and it had like all the combiners and a few other characters and Scorponok on it, and everyone was just like, well, that person must have had rich parents. So I'm thinking back to when I was that age, and I've had a good source of the collection, from after school money, after school jobs, weekend jobs, a few presents here and there, and there were a few friends, their parents did help them with their collection. But you look at that collection then, and I mean, a full Bruticus, actually a full combiner was like $35, compared to now, if you were to try to recreate that image, you're looking at like a few thousands. So it's like it wasn't that expensive back then to have that kind of a collection.
What are you talking? Sealed?
No, not sealed. No, like these were just, like what we all did as kids. Like, you have your characters and you just put them on top of your TV or your bookshelf and stuff. So in a sense, you get Optimus Prime, open the box, put them on the bookshelf from when you were a kid. So try to get that Optimus now. Like, you're looking for a used version on eBay, but that Optimus back then was only like $30-something. Whereas like even a used one now, if it's in that good quality, like at least a couple hundred. So it's like it would be expensive to recreate, like that display that we had as children, in this day's market. So then if there's the option of knockoffs, then that kind of supplements where it's like, I want these characters that I couldn't afford them, or because I remember at one point, a G1 Predaking was like $900 on eBay, and I'm like, well,
It still
you know,
is. If you
yeah,
get the metal version, the plastic version is a little
exactly,
cheaper.
exactly.
Okay, but
Yeah,
let's hear what Torp
hit
has to say.
nail on the head.
No, I don't believe in knockoffs, and I really hate that it's just a simple cash grab from these companies. It would be it Hasbro or Mattel. Mattel does it a ton with Hot Wheels. No, spend 30 years in the trenches. Spend 30 years collecting this stuff. Spend 30 years appreciating the franchise, appreciating the toys, preserving the toys, and then somebody can get something that's so similar that you can't hardly tell the difference. It causes all sorts of problems in the sales community because you're always got people that are either doing it on purpose or blissfully ignorant, trying to pass them off as the old ones, right? No, I had to spend 30 years in the trenches for the Transformers, for the Stompers, for the Hot Wheels, for all the RC cars. I mean, it's just it's endless. For someone to just pop up and say, "Hey, I got the same thing," no, you idiot, you bought it at Walmart last week. It's not the same thing.
And you know what? And that's the thing. It depends on the person, because on the person who buys it, because your point is exactly valid. Whereas like I think of the same thing in terms of music, in terms of hip hop and everything. But if there's a certain G1 character that I couldn't find and I bought the knockoff of it, I will say it's a knockoff. I'm not going to then say, well, no, this is the one I actually got after school in '84 when it's not. It's like, okay, that one over there I've held on to for 30 years. This one I got last week is a knockoff. I'm not going to try to pass it off as like, an original, which a lot of people are doing. And, and that's what messes up any industry.
I listen, I understand what Torp is saying, because this is going to be my next project. This is my Optimus Prime G1, and this was left. Okay. As you can tell, there's a piece here broken. I'm missing his hands, his gun, his trailer. My project is to find the original pieces and rebuild them again, right? As the original G1 figure, like the G1 parts, let's just say, right? So I get what you're saying. And you're absolutely correct in saying that, right? However, is when it's hard to find, some of the other stuff, like how you're saying, take 30 years and find these things. But if I can find something just to help supplement some of my collection, just to put some of the look together, and it's going to cost me a little less, then I'm going to do that, because I've also have other things that I got to spend on, like, my kids' hockey or stuff like that, right? So you're absolutely correct. I'm not taking anything away from what you're saying, Torp, right? However, I'm just saying that there's another element for guys like me. Let's just say that I don't have time to do what you're saying, right? Or the cash, because again, we live in Canada, so everything costs here quadruple, right? To do exactly what you're saying. So I may have to take a bit of a shortcut just to help a little bit of my, I don't know, shelf, just to make it look.
You said the word shortcut.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
Right?
I think you emphasize that, Arrogant Prime, very well, because like to get those pieces that you're missing. Number one, that Optimus Prime had many variations of hands, and to find both hands of the same variation for the matching version that you have, and the gun, and like the other accessories that come with it, that's that's an achievement. Once you've collected all those things and put it on your shelf, then you can say, yeah, I should get a glass case for this thing. But on the other hand, you're buying it from Walmart, who cares if it falls off your shelf? There's less appreciation because it didn't take you so much in order to get that. So it's like the difference of buying that classic Rolex and like fixing it up, or finding a Rolex on the streets of New York or something like that.
Well, it's funny you say that, and then tying into what what Arrogant Prime was saying, at the TFCon last year, someone was selling, kind of like a used Prime Optimus, and I bought it only for the head, because the head on my original one was damaged. One of the previous streams, when we were comparing Optimuses and Ultra Magnuses and stuff, you put the two together and you start to see those minor little differences. And I've seen in other Facebook groups where, even if both of them say they have like that 1984 or actually some of the toys like 1979 stamps and stuff, but there's minor details between them. So then you know which version of that toy was manufactured back then. And looking at the two Optimus, it's the same thing, where it's like, well, this one has a slight line in one part, but then the other one, the line is just slightly off or a bit different. But I mean, they are both from 84 or 86, but they're that slight variation difference. So then do you end up with like this cyborg version in the long run when you combine it, or is it the actual all of the exact pieces as it should have been?
That's what makes it really fun to be a Transformers enthusiast and collector, because you get to find out about like the history of their manufacturing, the versions, and all this stuff. Yeah, that's what I find to be so fun about collecting and Transformers.
I got the Walmart Optimus here, and I think about how in 1984 he couldn't actually hold his gun straight because the fists were the wrong shape to do that. You had to have it like sideways because it wouldn't fit properly, and like all modern versions of it, like that's what it had to look like. All modern versions of it change the shape of the fists so that they go up high enough that he can actually hold his weapon straight, to improve on the 84 version.
I think there was an older version that did fix that problem.
Yeah, like somewhere between 84 and now, they did eventually fix it. But like all the vintage ones, like I had a reissue from 2008 when they did him in Universe, and he couldn't hold his gun straight at that point. And I'd never had a G1 Optimus until that point, so I was startled that was a problem because I'd never noticed it before.
And RG Eagle asking, are we talking specifically about KO G1 Transformers or KOs of a third party? For example, Fan Toys Thomas Astro Train sold out everywhere and was overpriced, but then the KO came out with RP44 and was feasible. And also says, I admit I have some KO Masterpiece Autobot cars and a G1 KO Shockwave because it's literally impossible to get G1 Shockwave in a box for display, but KO Shockwave made it possible.
Yeah, that's that goes same thing for third party, but I guess there's not that much appreciation for the third party brand name as there is for Hasbro or Takara. Like, I mean, like if you're really supporting the company, for example, Fans Hobby, right? And I would prefer to get an original than save, like, I don't know, $50 on a KO in my experience on a third party thing, because like the last time I got a KO third party, it was the Fans Project. Now this is a long time ago. Fans Project KO City Commander, and that was just it was an older KO, but the quality was poor. So like my impression of third party KO has gone down. But like you make the good point, like some of those KOs are just really overpriced, and that money just goes towards supporting those companies so they could do the next one. So if you want to support them and get the next one to come out, yeah, for sure, buy the original. But legitimately they're overpriced. There was that one Target Master that was KO'd or released without the company's authorization. I forget which one that was, but like it was originally like $200-300 and then KO'd for $70. Like, hands down, I would get the KO version.
Professor D says, RJ, I need one of those KO. Professor D says, RJ, order me one of those KO Thomases. I need him. And Mr. Magnus. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, DECEPTIKITTY.
Yeah, that rolls towards like the whole idea of like the feasibility of buying things. Like, if just because it's valued at something doesn't mean it's worth it for everyone. Doesn't mean it's worth that for me. For example, if there is a market like these third party KO companies are making G1 Optimus Prime, then like why on earth wouldn't Hasbro do that, considering that there is a market for it? Because if there was no market, then these KO companies wouldn't be doing it. So that leaves the question, okay, Hasbro's not doing it for a reason, and there are all kinds of reasons to doing that. But if they're not going to do it, then let the other company do it, and just like let everyone have their toys. That's how I really feel about it. At the end of the day, let people have their toys.
You can do it.
Just don't be prejudiced. That's all.
Yeah. The interesting thing about like the KOs of like Mirage and the Dinobots and stuff is the understanding is that Hasbro doesn't actually have the molds anymore. That they're either lost or broken. Somehow the KO companies do. I've heard the theory that there was a run of Generation 1 figures in China in the 90s when it finally made its way over there, and that might be how the KO companies have access to them. But there's sort of this case of like they can't do the Dinobots because they would need to make whole new molds. So for them, it's like not cost effective or something.
I'm gonna have to put that theory to rest, because, for example, like I deal with cell phone parts a lot, and iPhone screens need to be replaced, and the official one's really expensive. So the Chinese manufacturers, they see that there's a market for it. They'll figure it out. They'll make it from scratch, and that's I've done this analysis with the KO Transformers. It's a completely new mold. They're not using the same molds whatsoever, and it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to make a new mold like that. They're not overly complex, and yeah. So the knockoffs are essentially brand new molds.
Interesting.
So for Hasbro to say, oh, we can't do a Dinobot because we don't have the molds. Number one, the molds from 30-40 years ago are totally worn out from being used. Like they have to redo the molds every couple of years, I'm sure. And yeah, that's just a poor excuse. I'm sure there's another reason behind why Hasbro's not reissuing those Dinobots.
I wonder.
It's not like they don't have the money to do to make the new molds too, right?
But the reality is, probably, now that I think about it, it's probably there's lots of chrome on the Dinobots, and that's probably something they don't like to do. It's very costly, and yeah, health hazards to do chrome.
Yeah, they could always do like how there wasn't a Hound reissue for a long time, but they did reissue one in the vintage. No, not the vintage line, the retro line, where they gave it a tune color scheme instead, so he had no chrome on him. Maybe they could do retro versions of the Dinobots, so they can again as excuse to put them out without any chrome parts.
Yeah, because they did the same thing with Hot Rod. They changed their chrome to just like this grayish color. So RJ Eagle, let me see if I can bring it up. There we go.
Well, the funny part is the generation, was it 35 Jetfire? The American version didn't come with chrome, and the Canadian version did come with chrome. So it's not like they can't do it.
See, now I'm also wondering, one of those little controversies that came out of the reissues was this same Walmart Optimus that I was holding here. Like, I happened to get it on ultra clearance, but it was really, really expensive when it came out. I don't remember what it was, but it was some ludicrous...
It was like $60.
Yeah, 60 American, so... Canadian.
Yeah.
600 Canadian.
Yeah, and it didn't come with a trailer either. And somebody asked John Warden at a panel, he was the lead of Transformers at the time, why it cost so much, and he said it was because they had needed to restore the mold to release him. And even at the time, I was like, that sounds... What do you think? Is that legitimate, or is that like a made up thing? Because at the time, I kind of regarded that with suspicion.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Especially, does it have die-cast parts? Because if it has die-cast, then for sure they had to redo some die-cast molds.
Oh yeah. Like the feet are still die-cast.
Yeah,
there's probably more on him, but the feet at least.
Those molds for sure didn't last. And also, it's like things haven't changed since back then. Like doing die-cast is not as easy as just doing plastic parts. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of effort that went into doing this, because it's not something that companies do very often anymore. It's a difficult thing. It's a difficult procedure. It's like we're going back in time and doing it the hard way just because people want it that way. So yeah, I can kind of believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to quote Optimus Primal from Beast Wars, it's a lost art.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah.
That's sort of an interesting corollary to that. At the time, they also asked him why it didn't come with the trailer, and he said because we'd need to fix the mold for that too, and that would drive the price up to an unreasonable amount. So people were like, okay, I guess the trailer is just lost to time. But there is that retro one coming. We saw it at SDCC. They're doing another G1 Optimus, just the original toy in its Toon colors with the blue eyes, and it comes with the trailer now. So I guess somewhere along the way they decided to finally fix the mold.
Hmm.
But we also don't have a price tag for it yet, so we don't know what they're going to be charging for it.
And before I get to RJ's comment, actually I'm going to hide it for a moment. Magnus sent the eBay listing for the Optimus parts. And I mean, again, what we're speaking on earlier, where it's like they could list it on eBay as G1, and this was probably never G1. But the one thing I do find interesting is the tab is broken on the back of his trailer, and I think any of us who owns an Optimus with a tab has broken that tab off like decades ago. So then it's is this an actual legit G1 part, or did they just break the tab to make it seem that way?
Now that really, selling, the parts off of the reissue type stuff, as passing off as G1 stuff, that tore the Star Wars community apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh man, I mean, there were literally, I mean, I saw it in the news. There were literally people like fist fighting over it. Because you find like a first run Han Solo or something, or even worse yet, like a Boba Fett, and you put a newer gun with it and try to pass it off as old. Man, those guys are nuts about it. You think I feel some sort of way about it, man? Those guys are nuts about it.
No, I don't see. For me, I wouldn't feel anything wrong about that, having a new accessory in an old figure. But if somebody's going to sell that to another person, just be honest and clear about what's being traded. Beyond that, like, whatever your preference is whatever your preference is. Yeah, being dishonest in trades and sales is just wrong.
It's wrong, but it's out there. There's a lot of it out there.
Yeah. Hopefully,
people need money.
People need money, and I do see that a lot. I hear about that in like Star Trek conventions and Star Wars community, but I don't feel that so much in the Transformers community, which is a blessing, and I think that's we're sharing a good atmosphere with each other here, like at our conventions and online groups.
Oh,
my earlier comment that I was talking about the chrome on Jetfire, right? On this specific Jetfire. This is the Canadian version of it, and I actually have the American version, but that's downstairs in my basement, which I'm not going to go get. But it doesn't come in chrome. It actually comes like just a red color. So it's not like Hasbro can't do that, right? And look at the other parts as well too. It's all chrome, right?
They can do it, but Fear was saying, they could do it in cartoon accurate colors, but that's not going to hit the nostalgia market. Like if it was in like the original colors, there'd be a lot more sales for like the nostalgia, people just buying it out of nostalgia. Like Grimlock is a huge nostalgia one, right? So if they're going to do it, they would have to go all the way, at least for one run, and then maybe later they could do a comic run. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and look at the weight is already starting to discolor as well too. The infamous yellow stains, if you know what I mean.
That happens to any kind of plastic, yeah.
That's the inevitable power of entropy.
It's actually UV and ozone.
Yeah.
RGO says, but Hasbro does have reissues of G1s, like the commemorative editions. Isn't that good enough? I'm sure Hasbro is going to reissue G1s. Look at the movie reissues, just using cheap plastic.
Well, there are two problems. One is, like I said, stuff like the Dinobots, they claim they just aren't going to reissue because they don't have the molds anymore. And also, commemorative reissues, those are like old too. Like this is the Rodimus Prime that I was showing off the other week. This is the last time they did an American reissue. This is from like 2002. So this is like 20 plus years old at this point anyway. So it's practically vintage on its own. So if you're looking for new guys, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Anything over 25 years is considered antique.
Anthony, why don't you send me that wing?
no, I earned
Pass
it.
it off
Damn
as
it.
G1.
Why don't you send me that wing?
No.
Don't you tell me no.
You got to do the
No.
Jedi hand gesture, Tor Warp. You will
That
send
is,
me that wing.
that is the currency around here is Rodimus wings.
Rodimus wings.
Hold on. I'm gonna top that one for a second because
Just
I
no.
have my G1 here wheeljack and I'm missing obviously the wings or the fin, right? But the
Yeah, I am
problem
too.
is one of the pegs is missing,
Oh
no.
boy.
right? And I'm also missing his little the clear plastic wings that he has in the back.
Mhm.
I'm also missing that as well too, right? So that's probably a hot commodity versus a hot rod.
their spin solution.
Yeah.
You
know what?
Retro Blasting did a whole video on Wheeljacks's, the wings coming off the wing, that piece that comes up on the back of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. He was talking about like
Which one? Wheeljack?
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
has like the car wings and then he has his bot mode wings,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, the bottom wings in the back over here, but they're usually down here, right? Like where is it? Yeah, like there's two little pegs right here, right? And that's where you put those clear bot wings, I guess you want to call it.
Right,
Oh,
right.
now I'm just thinking about because I never
So-
handled a G1 wheeljack. I have the Earthrise one, and they just combine the two into one thing on him. Like here's that version, and the thing back here, you just flip it up in its robot mode, and it changes into the wings behind his head, rather than it being two separate pieces.
Well,
His
lucky
head would
you.
go there. Yeah.
When I was young, I got my wheeljack and he was missing his bot mode wings. He had all his other accessories, but those wings were missing. So I kind of had to pretend by putting his spoiler wings on his back.
Yeah,
Which
well,
is
you also
exactly
have
what the
that-
new
that-
version does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hell, I remember when I first got ER Wheeljack, it was missing one of its tires, and luckily the shop they know me pretty well, so they just swapped them out for me with one who did had all four wheels.
Nice.
Now, to RG Eagle's comment there, Beast Wars figures didn't have any die-cast. That's why they made that joke on the show about it being a lost art. They were phasing out die-cast like before G1 was even finished. Like how there were like 87 variants of like Hot Rod where the metal had already been replaced with plastic. So it's really just like an early G1 thing.
Mhm.
So it was one reason would have been like it was heavy for shipping, right? If you're going to send toys, you could send more toys.
Yeah.
There's less die cast in them. So yeah, shifting away from die cast for international sales is pretty important.
I don't know. Maybe they ought to take maybe Hasbro ought to take a page out of Mattel's book now that they're working together, because Mattel keeps reissuing, like the Redline Hot Wheels, commemorative every year. They do something from like the Redline era and just reissue the same cars that they look the same as when they came out in 68, 69. They could probably learn something from Mattel on that front.
They must be restoring those molds because the originals would be Swiss cheese by now.
Yeah, I imagine they have multiple molds even during the same run. They probably have more than one mold going for the same vehicle. Are they made in China? I guess so, eh, Mattel?
Anymore, I don't know. My era that I collect is all Malaysia.
When they do the red line reissues, do they still use the original like materials, or have they been swapped out?
I imagine the plastic must be different.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't buy reissues of those either.
Oh, well, there you go.
the red line stuff is so like the original. I can understand, I guess, a little bit on Hot Wheels because the red line stuff is so freaking expensive. I mean, you're talking $100 to $500 a car.
Oh.
And that's out of the package. I mean, that's just for a loose car. The red line stuff is insane prices.
Okay, you know what? You and I need to hook up one of these days because I have like a big, huge box.
Man, that'll
full of
cost you
Hot Wheel
$20,
cars.
but
sure.
Can I watch?
Wait, hold on, wait.
How much if I
Hold on,
watch?
wait. Canadian?
Canadian. I don't take maple syrup as capital, man.
Hey, that's gold. That's
What,
gold stuff
what'd you
you're
say you
talking
have
about.
though?
No, I have like a big, huge box full of Hot Wheels, right? And
Okay.
actually, what I did is, well, my wife and I did every time when we used that to kind of give positive reinforcements to my son when he did something good. That was his treat. We give him a Hot Wheel, right? Because they were like $1. So
Yeah.
I'm hearing you, and I actually heard another buddy of mine talk about all these Hot Wheels that, depending which vehicle that you have, it could worth like $500, $600, or $100. I'm like, really? Like, where do you find that information, or how do you find that information?
That's a good.
Same way you find the information about most of your other stuff is look at previous auctions. Go to like eBay or like any auction site. Go down to type in what you're looking for, and then go down to sold, and then average out those prices, and that'll give you a decent idea of what that toy is worth. Because no one does price guides anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair.
But how do you tell, like, the vehicle itself? Is there something on the vehicle that says something, like, at the bottom of it, saying, if it's made in Taiwan, this is worth this much versus made in, I don't know, Bangladesh?
Yeah, that stuff like that can affect the value of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like me being a Matchbox collector, like I collect the '80s Matchbox stuff. Most of that stuff is made in Macau. Okay, right. But right when Tyco took them over in 1990, when I stopped collecting them, everything started being made in China, and I don't pay anything for those cars, for those molds.
See, I learned something new.
Yeah. The place of manufacture has and even like with the Bigfoot truck that I did the video on. When Hasbro bought them, they changed the company, changed the origin of the truck from, like Taiwan to China or something. It was real minimal, but even in that community, the guys that collect those trucks, they have a price difference in between where the truck was made.
Okay, but what makes it so special? Is there like something in there, like diamonds or something? Like is it because of the mold? What
makes the Hot Wheels stuff so special?
Yeah,
it's because the way Hot Wheels burst on the scene in 1968. The Southern California hot rod scene was, legendary in the car community, and that's what Hot Wheels emulated, was like that custom stuff that they were doing in Southern California in the late 60s. And it toppled over Matchbox hard. So, the whole lore of that whole era of Hot Wheels, before it kind of got homogenized in the mid 70s. Yeah, people are hard up for that.
That's cool. I mean, that's a history lesson in terms of Hot Wheels that I didn't know of, so I can understand.
Yeah, me either.
I can understand the value behind it, because I mean, the cars, because we're not like those 60s, 70s cars where it's like movies and shows, like the car was like the TV star, and so I could see how that plays out in terms of the value of a Hot Wheels car emulating those real life customization cars.
Now, isn't it funny though when you think about it? It was Hot Wheels in the beginning emulating, those custom hot rods, right? Now you've got people emulating Hot Wheels with real life cars.
Yeah,
isn't there a show that specifically does that?
Yeah, I've had a couple people
does it.
show me like a preview for it or something, but I've never sat down to watch it now.
Well, it's funny because at Fan Expo, they always have like a Hot Wheel section, right? And what they actually do, they bring in real vehicles that look like, some of those funky Hot Wheels kind of cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing, right? Like, the amount of work that the person to customize that vehicle, it's crazy, right?
Cool.
Oh yeah, God, you're talking thousands and thousands of hours into some of those customs.
Yeah.
RG Eagle says, a great point, Deceptikitty. It's hard to tell sometimes a fake KO from genuine. from Genuine, when people are listing these figures, you got to be a great detective sometimes with a good eye. And also says, I have yet to find a treasure hunt Hot Wheels in the wild.
Yeah, that's about the time I checked out of doing Hot Wheels, was the whole treasure hunt thing.
Oh, there's like
okay.
chase figures, basically.
Yeah. Now, I do have, the only reason I have this one, obviously, once you see it, you'll understand.
Oh no. My Septicon.
Oh, yeah, that's
Of course.
Yeah, now that you understand that, but the only reason I grabbed it was to see where it was made. Because I don't know where they make Hot Wheels now. They still make Matchbox in China, and Mattel owns Matchbox. I'm going to have to get this under a better light.
That's going to be Bangladesh.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'm looking.
My bug fell. Shit, some like figures fell here, man. That's not good.
Well, I know we're running a little overtime since tomorrow is a holiday for all of us, and we're going to round up in the next 10 minutes.
I'll be damned, it's still made in Malaysia.
Huh,
Oh, nice.
And Malaysians are pretty fun people. I'm friends with a lot of them. They can be religious looking, but they'll be the most freakiest. They'll post stuff that makes me blush on Facebook. And Toy Warp knows what my Facebook's like, and he's like, nope.
Don't do it.
No lies detected.
Well, as we round out the last 10 minutes of the evening, we have our upcoming dinner and movie for the Transformers 1 that is going to be released on the September 21st. December 20th, we're having our dinner and movies on the 21st, and we're going to do a review on the movie on the 22nd. As we go around to everyone who SETTOM Arts, what do you have coming up for the upcoming week?
Actually been posting a bunch of stuff on Instagram, both with SETTOM Arts and Boobin Bots, actually. So been productive for finally. I'm guessing keeping up that weekly schedule. I know this morning I was doing a bunch of improv, and I would like find like a related picture or whether it's just something I like or whatever, and do a screen record and have that as the visual, or the kind of like what I've been doing with those TMT the action figure dramas. Just but. So I'll probably need to decide where I'm gonna do. I think 6 of them I did this morning. Just little input series of little improvs, videos. So that would probably be the most immediate thing I'll do something with. It's just a matter of, do I want to push? Do I want to put them on SETTOM Arts? Do I want to put them Boom Bots? Maybe depending on the topic, maybe put a little bit on one and a little bit of other. Hadn't decided yet on that. And I'm pretty caught up with collages. So yeah, that's the main thing I got, is figure out what I'm going to do with these improv videos.
Cool. Over to Toy Warp, what do you have coming up for the week?
Nothing over on Toy Warp Vintage Reviews, because kind of taking a break over there after doing the whole Bigfoot series. However, on Cruisers, I did recently upload the 1989 Speed Zone movie in its entirety. That's a really fun movie. So yeah, go over there to Cruisers Motorsports and check the movie out.
Speed Zone.
And Mr. Deceptikitty, what do you have coming up for the week?
Yeah, this week. So in a couple of days, Tuesday night, we're going to do my live stream. This week, I got some toys to show off. Actually, this is a combiner set. I keep seeing at the grocery store. I don't know if you guys see it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But yeah, these are transforming numbers. They have letters, and there's a gimmick. So if you get the first 5, there's a combiner. So I'm going to be playing with that on Tuesday night. And a few other things I'll be doing, preparing for the show. This week, I'm actually getting stuff ready for the show. It's been the last 2 shows. It's just been like, whatever, slapping it together and playing some video games. This week, I'm actually prepared, or going to be prepared. It's not Tuesday yet. And yeah, it's going to be a good week, and more of the same. We're catching up with stuff, and yeah, pretty
Cool.
much it. Yeah, dude.
And you're saying that there's 5 of those combiner figures?
Yes. Well, no, there's 10. Like, there's 0
Oh.
to 9, but if you have 1 to 5, 1 to 5 combines, and then 0, 6, 7, 8, 9 combined, and then the A, like there's 2 A, B, C, D combiners as well.
Okay. I was gonna say, when you combine like the 1 to 5, do they combine into like a big 15?
I'd be curious to see what the 9 looks like, just because like my phone number has 4 9s in it, and like there's a Star Wars character that's named Nines. It's actually the guy who said the Finn traitor. That character is Nines in the novelization.
Okay.
And that's a nickname of mine is Nines.
Okay.
Yeah, on Nines, and the cell phone shop the guy that was my neighbor, he hit my nickname for him was Traitor.
Okay, because the 9 character. I did see a 9. I did see a 9 there, so I'll pick one up, and also I'll pick up a 7 for the Seinfeld fans there.
Mr. Magnus, what do you have coming up for the week?
Hopefully I get the airbrush booth set up. I say I got to run electrical, which I should get that knocked out tomorrow morning. And that's about it. Went over, got some of my paintings that I've picked up throughout the years, and get things hung up around here.
Nice. And over to Mr. Orlati. Actually,
Hey. I'm just
Prime.
probably continue to be, arrogant and prejudiced.
For the people just tuning in, this is something of a joke.
Name now.
Well, you know what? I've actually, everybody knows that I'm a hockey guy, right? So one of the things I just read I've written an article a couple of weeks ago. It's called "The Decline of Minor Hockey Coaches in Canada," because there has been a huge decline of that. So if you get a chance, go to hockeynews.com and you can read that article. I'm actually working on another article. And this is actually, for my American friends, because, I always joke around about, moving to Texas. One of the reasons why, because they got hockey there. And so the article that I'm actually doing research and writing about, is it worth it to play hockey in the States versus Canada, right? And so, so that should be coming out sometime next week. So check it out on hockeynews.com.
Nice.
I thought you guys came out of the womb with ice skates on.
We do.
I'm
How do you think? How do you think we cut the? How do you think we cut the umbilical cord? Yeah. Come on.
And over to Fear and Courage. What do you have coming up for the week?
I wasn't expecting the spotlight without warning. So here's Origin Wheeljack. Got his photos done, about halfway done his write-up. So my review and pictures of him should be out on Friday on childrenofprimus.com under our news and reviews section. If you look up blogbots. On the weekend, I started taking photos of Rodimus Prime, so this will probably be the one after that. I'm ahead on my photos, which is rare. Photos are usually the thing that make me fall behind because they take forever to do. But now I'm more ahead on the photos than I am on the writing, which is unusual. So I'm kind of happy about that. As somebody that will be getting married shortly, that has monopolized so much of my time that it's hard to keep up. But somehow I'm making it work.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice. And then the last comment before we sign off, RJ Eagle says that Stephen Bach Arts and at Fear and Courage will talk about the latest Skybound Transformers issue next week. Crazy. So much to talk about.
Oh, issue 11? Because I'm waiting for issue 12, which I thought wasn't out yet. But yeah, issue 11 was awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't keep track on the exact release dates. I just periodically go to my comic shop and pick up whatever's in my pull list. And it's like a surprise. What'll be there this time?
That's cool.
Cool. Well, thank you guys to taking your time to hang out with us every Sunday night as we always like to do. I thank everyone in the comments that hanging out, and whoever's watching it later on, like our videos, subscribe to our channel, like and subscribe to everyone's channels that's listed.
Hold on.
And here we go. Here we go.
Yes, it's my arrogance again here.
There we go.
Oh, somebody's doing the wolf pack symbol there. There you go. What's it called? We have this thing that's supposed to happen next week, some dinner contests.
Yes. So a dinner and a movie.
Oh, and a movie. Okay, all right.
Dinner and a movie, and also extra prizes will be a part of our package. So next week, or not next week, but we're starting the contest this week.
Yes.
And I keep mixing up the dates, so let me quickly pull up the calendar. So the Transformers 1 movie officially releases, at least in Canada, on September 20th. But we are going to have a dinner and movie get together where we're giving away 2 free tickets to the movies and two dinners at the Pickle Barrel, which is located in Yorkdale in Toronto, Ontario. And that's happening on the Saturday, the 21st. And then on the 22nd, all of us who have seen the movie and anyone else in the comments and everything else, we're going to review the Transformers 1 movie, and then give our opinions on it. If we like it, dislike it, or if we're half and half, we're going to say what we think about it.
So the people in Quebec, you can't do the contest, but you can join us on Sunday.
If people from Quebec can join, why not Quebec? There's no French restrictions over here.
Oh, we're talking about the contest, right? They
can't do the contest,
but they could join us on Sunday. Sorry.
Well, in the long run, when we get more sponsorships and everything, that will be a cool goal. Where it's just like anywhere in Canada or the US, and like, here's 2 tickets, go to your nearest theater, watch the movie. But for now, it's a localized contest. But we'll have other content because we have sponsorship from Gotham Central Comics, and we can ship out comics. We're also selling T-shirts. We're going to be advertising that as well. So all
thing right here.
All thing. So support all of us. Support our channel. Support everyone else's channel that's a part of us, because we're all content creators. We're not YouTubers. Nobody uses the word YouTubers anymore. It's just
it's a broader field.
I don't know. That's just funny. All right, and on that note, to all our ones, see you guys next week.
Till all are one. How did I end up in the top left? I didn't used to be. Yet I am.
Combined and
still alive, by the way.